Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Let me get over to shut up here. Oh, they might be loud. I apologize if it was. Do I sound better now? Why am I all jumpy? Okay, I do sound better. Okay, good. Hi, Taboo. What's up? Okay. Thanks. That's it's not actually a picture. Well, I mean, it is a picture of me, but I used the one of the apps where it like puts your face or your likeness or whatever into another picture. That's what I use. I wanted to look like all like I don't know, like professional or something. So and like come on. So I like it though. It's fun. I like to have fun like that. I don't care. I'm vain too like that. So what are you gonna do? All right, so let me head on over to Court TV and pull up the stream. It should be going now. I don't know if this court started yet. They usually start a little bit late. And it looks like today's no exception. We're going to be starting a little late. It looks like they started streaming 18 minutes ago. It says, but it still has. It's not even on the fan. It's like on the thumbnail still. So they definitely haven't started yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and share that, though. I'm going to put it on a small part of the screen. Yeah, so it worked out. I had today off, and thankfully I had today because I worked like, I don't even know. I worked 6 days last week. And I needed a day off. I worked Saturday, I worked Sunday. And I actually came home like Saturday and Sunday, Saturday I went out and I had a few drinks with my kids. Well, they're adults. My youngest is 21 and she's the one who really took me out. And then my oldest son met us out for a little bit. And I had a few. I'm not going to lie. I had a few. Wasn't shit-faced, but I was not feeling any pain. So I came home and I passed right out and I slept right into the morning. And then last night I came home from work and I stayed up for a little bit, but then I went to bed, slept right up until the morning. And I'm like, I feel good today. I feel rested. So, and it's on a good day too, because I think there's going to be some exciting shit happening in court at least this morning. So from what it looks like, I think Alan Jackson is still cross-examining Trooper Buchanan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I know it's not Bukaki though. So yeah, they Friday while he was cross-examining Trooper I want to say Bukaki Buchanan, Alan Jackson had him read all the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed. And that was interesting. And come to find out, there were a lot of text messages between the two of them that were omitted in the first trial. So I might have to do an update on my reading of the text message video I did. I not might have to. I definitely have to. So I'll get to that soon, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. Over the next days. I want to get it done this week anyway. So, but yeah, court hasn't started yet. So you're just stuck listening to me ramble on until it does. Yes. Fuck. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to play around with these formats for a minute. These layouts, whatever. Oh, I think I like that one a little better. What else do I have? That's about it. So anyways, if you're new here or even if you're not, I will be, playing streaming the trial here and when it starts. I will maybe give some commentary, but mostly just jokes I'm going to try and make or whatever. Just, I'm not educated in law in any way, shape, or form. Like not even as someone who's caught a case. I'm not even educated in that sense. So yeah. Well, actually, I can't say that because maybe I did kind of catch a case. over the past couple of years. I mean, that's in criminal law, but I mean, still civil. And I have learned quite a bit as a result of that. So, but I definitely don't know anything near enough to give any kind of like dependable commentary on anything legal. So let me just be upfront about that. Do not listen to me in any. I'm going to have just as many questions as anyone else, if not more. So I'm definitely not going to have answers. And who's messaging me? Why did it come? Why did I make that weird noise? Oh, okay. I swear, some of these apps I think change their alert sounds, and they're trying to mimic other apps alert, like more urgent apps alert. So I hear these just routine, basic alerts, and I think, oh shit, that's something important. But it's just telling me that someone commented on someone's Instagram post. It's not important, you know. But it makes it sound like it's like a fucking, I don't know, Amber Alert or some shit. It's crazy. All right, what's going on here? Hi, Christine. How are you this morning? Or, yep, morning, still morning. I'm not used to being up like normal hours. It's crazy. I'm used to like getting up afternoon, basically, or getting moving, starting my day afternoon, getting home late at night, going to bed at like, you know, almost sun coming up, and repeating the process. But I had today off, so I slept last night. I feel good today. Anyway, I don't know why court hasn't started yet, but it hasn't. What time is it? Oh, wait, does it give it? Yeah, no, it started streaming 23 minutes ago, so it's definitely going to start. What is that? Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta let my cat in. She's bugging. Wait 1 second. All right, I'm coming, kitty. Okay, come on. In or out, though, you're gonna have to pick one. Come on. What do you want to do? Move it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I had to shut the door because my dog was starting to get whiny. In or out, you fucking cat. I'm very angry with my cat this morning. She spilled my milk all over my kitchen. And like the part of my kitchen she spilled in it is where the table is, just like the little eat-in area. We have like a area carpet there. So she spilled milk on the carpet. I'm not happy. Not at all happy. I had to scrub the carpet. Like, who the fuck wants to wake up first thing in the morning and scrub a carpet? Like, right? No one. So, fuck you, cat. What's going on here, though, in the comments section for Court TV? Higgins, Proctor, and Ally McCabe will not be called the prosecution. The defense might call them, though. Well, why isn't Ally McCabe being called? I mean, she's the one who testified that. Oh my God, Kat, stop it! Wait a minute. Let me mute this for a second, otherwise it'll get annoying. Wait, is she done? But like, isn't she the one who testified that John or Colin was not there when John was in the house or some shit like that? I don't know. I think she has an important testimony to give. Knock it off. I have my water bottle. Sure. She jumped. It's just a little silicone fingertip, that's all. These are awesome because like it protects your fingers from heat and shit when you're doing like stuff with the curling iron or a glue gun or making creme brulee. Oh, I like them. Oh, it starts at 10 today? Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. So we get to hang out and talk for 40 minutes. Okay, great. So you know what? There is other things we can talk about, but I feel like I'm going to be like baiting and switching a little bit. So I don't know. We can do it anyway. So for anyone who's familiar with my channel, you know that there's some content creators, whatever I'll discuss and commentate on or whatever, pass some judgment, I guess. And Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball is definitely one of them, amongst a few others. But do I want to do that or cover Twitter? I think we'll do Katie Joy for now. So I'm going to head on over to her Instagram and see what's going on over there. I've not looked at her shit in forever, like at least the better part of the week, because I've just been so busy working. What I use routinely check in with though is the Discord for the Discord for the old subreddit anyway. But I only checked in with them like 1 or 2 days this week. So, oh my gosh, she's still fucking talking about this Baldoni and Blake Lively shit. Oh my god. There cannot be this much of an audience for this long over this. Is there? Like, she cannot be getting worthy views for this shit if she's putting it on YouTube. I don't know. Right now, we're on her Instagram. What's this? Taylor Swift helped cast Isabella Ferrier, but Taylor publicly claimed she had no part in the film. Just remember, Taylor is crying about being subpoenaed, but Blake has said publicly 1,000,000 times Taylor was part of this project every step of the way. Just remember, while Blake and Taylor cried clickbait and tabloid fodder, it was Blake that was name-dropping Taylor in every interview and privately using her relationship with Taylor as a weapon. Taylor had more involvement than she leading on, period. Also, imagine calling a $30 million film, quote, low budget. According to SAG, low budget films are under 1 million, while most under 500K. 30 million is not low budget. It's just not what Marvel $500 million for film and marketing. It's just not Marvel. Let's see here. I can't. It's crazy how many people are into this. I mean, I get it. Like, I've been into some wacky shit and stuff too online before, and other people are just like, oh, okay, But like, this is like kind of frivolous in my opinion. It's just two very entitled people trying to assert that they're more entitled than the other in a court of law, and they're looking to like an audience to help them make their case, basically. Like, I'm not on either side here. I think they both just need to fucking let it go. Whatever. I missed the bits about Taylor. Did she release a statement or just a source? Katie says. Her publicist released a statement being subpoenaed, and she denied she was involved and accused Justin of using her for clickbait. Said the same. Okay. Very disappointed of Tay-Tay. Oh, stop. You don't know her like that. What are you doing, man? And her team approach. I'm not. Taylor has always been this way. She has great PR cover for her. But I'm sorry. She's mid-30s and has admitted to being a functioning alcoholic in her songs. She is hardly American sweetheart. Her beloved boyfriend was so drunk at the Super Bowl celebration that he needed to be propped up by his teammates. His ex-girlfriend called him a narcissist, because exes never say that about their exes without, just cause, right? Like, no one's ever unjustly called an ex a narcissist before, right? I wonder how many call me a narcissist. Taylor has used her music to bully other women that she competes with in music. She's no sweetheart. She's as entitled as Blake. Oh, I totally missed that. disappointing as I like Taylor, but she must realize the truth will come out. Right, Taylor's just a smarter version of Blake. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm not really into Taylor Swift's music. It's just not heavy enough for my ears, really. But like, I'm a fan of her. I don't care. When around just before the election or something, I don't know, it was a couple years ago, and my fiance here, like, as hard as I tried over like 18 years to get him interested in politics or to even vote, I've been like pitifully unsuccessful at it. Then all of a sudden one day he starts talking to me about how Taylor Swift is leaving such a huge carbon footprint or whatever on the world because of her jet flying around doing all concerts and shit. I'm like, oh my God, she did what I couldn't do. She got him interested in politics and like the environment and shit. Like, I gotta be a fan of her after that. Like, she's amazing. I don't care. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I was being asked a question. All right, where did I leave off? I would also add here that Isabella video saying that and the video of Real Melanie King, in which Pinocchio Lively says how much involved Taylor was in all the process of the movie. I don't know. Blake also said it at Meta film screening. Okay, but Blake's not a true killer, so yeah. I mean, if you think she's a liar, then why do you believe her on that? Oh, I know. It just, bias, that's why. All right, next one. Justin Baldoni honors his mom and wife, Emily. Okay, I'm going to stop. Justin Baldoni's first post since the scandal erupted is a tribute to his mother and wife. Saint. Justin may be the face of the feud that's taken over the media, but countless women have been harmed by Blake and Ryan. Emily has been forced to deal with a powerful woman accusing her husband of sexual misconduct. I thought it was harassment or something, not misconduct. Okay. She's been humiliated by Blake Lively as Blake has run around the media with her lawyers to imply Justin sexually assaulted her. She never said that, did she? I read the initial filings and the amended filings. There's never anything in there about any kind of assault. It was harassment or whatever. I think she labeled it harassment, but it was more like just maybe possibly uncomfortableness. You know what I mean? But assaulted. I mean, I don't know. Katie's looking for like another defamation suit or something. My opinion. There's nothing true about those statements. There are countless women that work for Wayfair Studios and 2 female PR representatives that did not launch a smear campaign against Blake Lively. Jen Abel has had her privacy violated, phone data illegally stolen, and faced horrific death threats. What death threats are not horrific? Seriously, like, why are we using shock value words here? If they're death threats, then I think it's a given that they're horrific. Stephanie Jones and Blake Lively continue to lie every single day. Their lawyers continue to lie and aid and abet their fraud and criminal acts. Ryan Reynolds has used his wife as a shield to weaponize Me Too and sexual harassment in order to gain more power in the industry. Ryan's uncontrollable jealousy and rage fueled his narcissistic attack on his perceived romantic rival. Ryan and Blake will one day pay for the harm they've caused. My continued hope is that there is pressure placed on authorities to step in and charge these two for believing they had the right to invade privacy, steal data, defame, extort, and intimidate others to give into their demands. We will keep fighting for justice. We believe the facts of the case. We believe the evidence. We believe Justin and his entire team. These are my opinions. I thought they were facts. You believe the facts, right? But they're your opinions. I'm not a bot. I think it was Cold Fish or something. No, okay. I've read every single court document. I studied the laws and legal arguments, and I've not been influenced by anyone to make this post. Okay, sure. I'm curious what PR company is really running the script here now. I'm willing to bet that there might be some sort of, possibly in my opinion, association with Katie. I don't know. It's a thought. All right. Nothing else really here. Okay. It's 9:30. All right. It would appear that Marvel is intending to profit off Justin's image and likeness. Is this why they won't cooperate? I'm sorry. Well, how do those two look alike? Like the one on the right looks more like Thor, if anything. Like what the? Nah. Mm-mm. I'm like the face features aren't even similar. The smile is completely different. The chin is completely different. Like the one on the right there, Thor there's got more of a pronounced chin, where Justin doesn't. The cheekbones are different. Like Justin has more pronounced cheekbones than Thor there. It doesn't even make sense. Why? It's a stretch, sis. It's a big stretch, I think, my opinion. All right, let me check chat here. Christina Fortunato, member for 4 months, Lord Trail. Yay! Thank you. Have you seen the guy on TikTok with his impressions of Blake Lively? He is so funny and even has her facial expressions down perfectly. No, I haven't. If you want to send me a link, though, I'll check it out. All right. Marvel promoted the game online in July 2024 during the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. The images used on the promo code advertisements showed Nicepool and Wolverine. In images obtained by Without a Crystal Ball, the images of Nicepool most certainly look like Justin Baldoni, look more like Justin Baldoni than Ryan Reynolds. Is this why Marvel doesn't want to comply? Wait, why would Marvel have to come? What the fuck is it? When did Marvel become a part of this? You can make a character off of someone's likeness without fucking having to owe them royalties or whatever. It's a likeness. Every character is based on someone's likeness. I mean, that's how people come up with the ideas of characters. They pull from experiences they've had with actual people. Do they know that they are profiting off the image and likeness of Baldoni in violation of copyright laws? Come on now, sis. Could more lawsuits be coming since Reynolds confirmed the character is based on Baldoni? Pretty sure he didn't, but okay. And if you make it, and if he did, it would have been in an attempt to mock Justin Baldoni. So if there would be parody or satire, would it not? That definitely would not be covered by copyright. So I don't know. Find a different way to come at this. I mean, she should know parody and satire because there's so many accounts that parody her. I mean, she's tried to stop them, but to no avail. Is that cartoon image supposed to look like Justin? Because I don't think it does at all. I hope there's not any kind of evidence. Word. The blonde hair is throwing you off. The facial features and hair length are Justin. Well, he's got his hair up in the other picture. I don't know. That's not at all Justin. Those facial features are not at all. Nope. Nope. Not even close. Who would kind of write more like? I don't know. A young Anthony Michael Hall, maybe? Not young, but younger, like Edward Scissorhands era, maybe. Yeah, I'm super anti Blake and Ryan, but this is stretchier than a Stretch Armstrong. Yeah, good reference. Okay. I think it's the character version of him that was played by Ryan Reynolds using JB's mannerisms, personality, and character traits. So, in essence, it's his character likeness, but the version that was played by Ryan Reynolds mocking and using JB's personality to form the character. Yep. What I just said. Oh, I love this. Nice pool. More like Justin Baldoni than Ryan Reynolds. Ouch, that sucks for Ryan. I can promise you none of this sucks for Ryan. None of this. Not at all. Okay. Let's check out while we get these last few minutes. Let me go on over to the house. There we go. So for anyone who does actually pay any attention to Katie George from Without a Crystal Ball, she's very, very involved in molding her comment sections and under her posts and videos to display the picture, the image that she wants to put out there into the world. So she removes most, if not all, negative comments and such. However, there is one social media platform that, at least anyways, to my last knowledge, she has yet to really do that on, and that's Threads. So if you want a real organic idea or example of how most generalized people view Without a Crystal Ball, Threads will offer it to you. At least last I know. I haven't looked at it though in a couple of weeks, so I could be wrong. All right. All right, so recent. And see, she has it set up to where, like, if she posts on one social media platform, it gets posted to all. So that's why her shit keeps getting posted to Threads, but she doesn't really come on here and check out the comment section. At least last I knew she didn't. Oh, what's this one around? Okay, whoever reported these, thank you. This was from May 4th. Or did not actually in videos. I don't know what these were about. Okay. As someone that's useless on social media, what does it mean? Same. That is not just me. On TikTok, sounds can be removed without the whole video being removed there. Speculation is that she received a subpoena due to the subpoena gate mess she started and fed for 8 videos. I think it was her hookup with a known bad actor, like Without a Crystal Ball, that tipped off she was on the take. What lawyer would claim to speak about a case and brag about doing no research? Not sure what her motives were, but if she is gone and her husband too, he never showed his face, but she quote his comments as he apparently is a litigator, then it's a good day. Wow, that's crazy. Wait a second. Okay. What else we got? Okay. Without a crystal ball, genuinely thinks Blake was doing her hair and thought, let me randomly pick August 15th as my daughter's fake birthday. Googled celebs born that day, saw J-Law and Napoleon, and said, perfect lie. Be serious. Maybe, just maybe, she never shared their real birthdays. Try that before spreading more nonsense. Blake never publishes anything related to her kids and never make birthday posts. It's totally impossible that none of the birthdays you saw were real. It is such a dumb, pointless thing to even have the thought to fact check to. What a miserable life without the ball tip. These people claim to hate Blake, but can't stop seeking out every bit of Blake content. Why don't they use their time to find good things to hear about? All right. It's your time on the internet, you can spend it doing whatever you want. It's a pretty well-known fact that most celebrities have stories to tell on talk shows. It's called the bit. Does Without a Crystal Ball also think that comedy routines are based in fact? Is Daniel Radcliffe a real wizard? Oh my God. I know, back in April. Pretty sure I might have read these before. But here's a good example of how people actually view her. But she does have a page on here, I think. Pretty sure she does. Yeah, she hasn't been on here to do kind of anything since 2023. So I'm still correct. No comments. 3 comments. They're both definitely psychotic, like a true abuser taunting her victim. We watched last night and thought the same thing, hypocritical. So, okay. Our exclusive video now up on YouTube. Run and learn all about it. The link is in my stories. Oh, no comments on that one. And then she didn't post in here again? Wait, that was 429. 5-3. Oh wait, it's only 12. Disgusting. Using this time to attack a woman is all I need to know about this grifting wing commentator. Women praising this are the ones excited for the new America. As bad as that is, it's important to know how they view the situation. Correct. What I don't understand is why is Hollywood still supporting Liar, Lively, and Reynolds? Make it make sense. It's Hollywood. If they make people in Hollywood money, then they don't give a shit what you think. She literally excused a PDF file who abused his sisters with his parents' support initiative. Are they talking about Josh Duggar? Because wasn't it Megyn Kelly who did that interview with him like years ago? Or no, not with him, with the sisters, his victims, or whatever. Yeah, you would hate Meghan Markle, a black woman humanitarian who has done nothing problematic ever. Your envy shows, Katie Joy. So does your racism and misogyny. And you judge, insult, and hating on social media, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see if I was sent a link yet. Did you send me a link? Megan, if you're still there, I don't know. I haven't checked chat. For those of you just coming in, we'll be starting in about 15 minutes, give or take. So that's why it's not on at the moment, but I will be putting it on. I have it on in the background. We went from the thumbnail being shown on the live stream to now we have the fan. And that fan looks like it's on high speed today. So I don't know. So it should be starting soon, I think. I don't know. See. But I have the sound on too, so when it comes on, I'll hear it if I don't see it. And I'll switch right on over there. Oh, okay. All right, what else is going on here? Same shit on fucking Twitter. Oh, so for those of you, I don't know if you, I think I did a stream on it. Did I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did a stream on it. I know I did a while ago, like back in April, I did a stream about the local chapter of Moms for Liberty, and I ended up going to the school district's school board meeting at the end of April there. And of course, the chapter head there for Moms for Liberty didn't show up. I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but I did write a blog post about it. So it's crazy though with this organization is doing. I know it's a political organization. It's Moms for Liberty, whatever. But it seems like they went from wanting to ban all kinds of crazy books or whatever from school libraries to now they want to have every single teacher fired and just defamed and tarred and feathered or whatever that shows any kind of support for things involving inclusivity, like the gay pride flag up in the art room or something. They want to see that teacher called a pedophile, groomer, indoctrinator, and then fired for just simply hanging a flag up on the wall. And like it's the art classroom. They have all kinds of shit up on the wall there. You know? Or if there's some sort of school project and it's then hung up in the hallway of the schools or whatever, and the projects depict any kind of support for any kind of left-wing leaning person or whatever. So it's crazy. Like, why are these teachers making school all about their political ideology? And like, I thought that this side of the aisle, whatever, was, or at least they claim to be, all against like government intrusion or whatever, or big government. They want less government, smaller government or whatever. They don't want government coming in and telling them what to do or invading in on their parental rights or whatever. At least that's what they claim. But then they turn around and they want to demand that these school districts ban certain books. So it's like you can't control what your kid does. You can't tell your kid, do not read this book, and they'll listen. So you then have to take away the option of this book for every other student there because you suck as a parent, apparently. And now you want the government to step in and help you, you know, I guess, censorship for your kid. I don't know. That's kind of hypocritical. I don't understand why. It's a perfect example though. Like I say it all the time. People will tell you one thing. People have no problem lying against their true and real interests, their main interest, their goal. They will lie their face off about it. But their actions, they're not going to act against their interests. They're going to act toward their goal, their intended goal. So in this example, she spouts one thing, but her actions show the opposite. So that's her true intended goal, is to get government to come in and take away the rights of people. But she thinks that she's protected because she's a straight, I don't know, white middle-class woman. But she's not. I mean, she's a woman. I mean, it's crazy. Like there's that whole thing I remember from I don't know, it was from a movie or something. I forget what it was. Like first they came for this group, you know, and I said nothing. Then they came for this group, then I said nothing. And then they came for me, and there's no one left to say anything. Well, I don't know. It just seems kind of crazy as a woman though in this country to think that you're going to be protected when you're not. You're not now. Okay, now I think you can see me, hear me. I just had a refresh. And I gotta make sure that I'm on the new network. Yeah, I am. Okay. So yeah. Hmm. Okay, let's see here what's going on over at court. Still the fan. Go ahead and share it though. Oh, I have to switch over. Oh, I did. Okay. All right. Now it should be all fixed. All right. So it's 9:54. I'm going to go on a quick 2-minute break. I'm going to run to the bathroom and then I'll be back by 10. And then hopefully the court stream will be actually starting then. I'm going to put a little banner up on it though. Steve. Okay. There we go. I will be back in just a moment, and I'm going to I get to play it again. Little like intermission video. Yay! I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Every time you close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Be in your wet dreams. I wanna be in your wet dreams. In your wet dreams. I wanna. Close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Be in your wet dreams. I wanna be in your wet dreams. In your wet dreams. I wanna.
Okay. I never really listened to that song much before. Like I didn't pay too much attention to the lyrics. But is he saying in your wet dreams? Is that? I'm gonna play it one more time. Let me know what you think.
Every time you close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Close your eyes, dream of me.
All right, it's almost time. It sounds like he's saying in your wet dreams, though, doesn't it? It's so fucking weird. Hey, moderate. No, you're not. You're not late or early. Maybe a little bit early, but I thought it started at 9. Apparently, court doesn't start until like 10 a.m. today. So, and they usually start a couple minutes late, so they're just not started yet. But the live stream over at Court TV, when I first started streaming, it was the thumbnail. Now we have the fan on, so it's progress. I think. I don't know. But how you been doing? How you been there, moderate? I do think he's saying in your wet dreams. Yep, right. See, yeah, sounds a little conceited to me. Well, how would he know? Right? Pretty sure every guy thinks that they're in like the wet dreams of women, though. I don't know. If women were to have wet dreams, I don't know. All right, there we go. So yeah, just waiting for it to start. Anyways, so I did watch a lot of the live coverage on Friday. And we're now in cross-examination of Trooper Buchanan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Bukaki. So, but yeah, so Alan Jackson was cross-examining him, but oh, here we go.
You are unmuted.
Yeah.
Was now open to make a seat.
Shit, they're starting in time.
All right, good morning. I came into 3 motions
Oh.
that I did not have when I checked email before coming to court today.
FYI, I'm not any kind of legal professional. Do not come to me looking for any kind of explanation, advice, or any knowledge of any sense. So, yeah.
And let's today focus on the Bowden ones. We can focus on the other one later.
My motion memorandum on Bowden just iterates my objections continuously at sidebar that not all evidence is admissible, characterization of evidence is not admissible, and the defense should have the ability and intention to follow up with substantive proof if they're going to ask a question. It's not limitless. Bowden is wide parameters to ask the investigator about their state of mind, about the scope of the investigation, but it has boundaries of reasonableness. And my earlier objections about offering information that go into beyond Bowden, delve into third-party inadmissible
No, it
evidence.
didn't.
Those objections would compel me to draft this motion. And I can continue and will continue to object during the case, but once the questions are asked, if they're improper, the jury hears them, it inflames the jury. And without a basis and an intention to follow it up with substantive proof, the question is not.
So the one point I want you to focus on, Mr. Brennan, is the specific evidence regarding materials that Sergeant Buchanan has not been able to look at.
You want me to?
Is that something we can do here in open court, or based on the protective order? Is that something that should be done at sidebar?
Sidebar.
Why don't you come up, Mr. Jackson?
What's that about? No, we're okay. I know he was objecting to things on Friday that Alan Jackson was asking, but Alan Jackson was asking Trooper Buchanan about what Trooper Buchanan thought or understood at the time, not what he knew or believed someone else to think or feel. You know, it was like, were you aware of this? Were your thought or impression of this or whatever? He was asking the investigator about their frame of mind or whatever throughout the investigation. That's not third party, you know. At least I think that that's what they're talking about. Again, I don't know shit about law, so. Oh, I'm not even looking at chat. What is this? who this is. I got a text. Someone texted me and said, "Hey, my new number is whatever." And but judging by the screenshot that they just sent me, I think it's someone who it was real person who actually knows me. But and it's in my area code, but I have no idea who it is. So if you hear me, I don't think you do though, because you're someone I know in real life, not on the computer. I'm guessing, but just text me your first name. You're doing pretty good. How are you? I've heard good things. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yes, things definitely are improving. We got some great news at the end of last week or whatever regarding some legal things going on. So there's that. Yeah. Yeah, doing good. Working my ass off. But I have today off. Had a good Mother's Day. What is this? What was it made for? That's a lot of fucking opening up an email. Holy shit. Still, my accountant hasn't gotten back to me. Come on. I'm just looking at their live chat over on Court TV. This is ending 1 hour later today since it started 1 hour later. Yet, no, that's not how it works. At least not in this courtroom, anyways. Maybe some courtrooms will do that. Will make up that hour missed, but I think this judge is just like watching the clock until she can just like reasonably say, "Okay, that's it for the day. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here." These officers are overweight. I'm sorry. Have you not? Aren't like a lot of cops are a lot, and oddly enough, firemen too. Like, okay, maybe it's just the city I live in, but like I always see or you hear about like all these like hot firemen or whatever, or like they do a calendar. Or they used to whatever years ago when calendars were like a thing. But then I looked at the firefighters in my city, and I thought that would not be a calendar. That would not present for a good fun year. So I don't know. Not all of them, I imagine, just a lot of them. Does Court TV ever talk back in the chat? Because I see people asking Court TV questions. I'm curious if they ever. I want to know now. I don't think it's gonna. It's not gonna. Damn it! It's just showing one. Yeah. I mean, I'll be able to look at it later, I guess, maybe, if the chat's been saved in on replay. But not till then. Hmm. So, for those of you in chat who have been watching this trial, what's your all's opinion on this shoe? Because there's been, I know, some speculation that they brought in a different shoe for court than what was photographed, and it's been alleged that the shoe in the photograph has black soles. I think I honestly think it's just the way the light's hitting it. I mean, it's possible that it's not the same shoe, but like, I mean, because there's something on the side that looks questionable. Maybe it's snow, maybe it's not, but I don't think it has a black sole. I think it's a white sole shoe. But that's my opinion. Not that really. I mean, I don't know. Really, all that matters is what the jury thinks. So. But I do think it's okay. So, like, TurtleBoy brought up a very good point on Twitter. Let me pull that up because I retweeted it. So he, here we go. He said, I'll go ahead and my messages are closed. All right. So he said here, Jennifer McCabe claims John O'Keefe was a good friend of hers, who she's been grieving for 3 years now. In her family text messages, you don't see her, Matt McCabe, Nicole Albert, or Brian doing any of the following. 1, asking how John's children are doing. 2, coming up with ways to help John's family, who needed help more than anything since his kids were orphaned again. 3, asking how Karen Reed was doing, even though at the time they claim they thought that she had accidentally hit and killed John and would likely feel bad for her. Not once do they express sympathy or anger toward her for allegedly killing their good friend. Instead, you see them doing the following. 1, keeping close tabs on Carrie Roberts. 2, telling Chris Albert to tell WBZ that, quote, the guy never came in the house. 3, closely monitoring police activity at 34th Fairview Road. 4, discussing their desire for Karen Reed to take a plea deal. This is not how innocent people behave. And it's not how people who are generally grieving the unexpected loss of someone that they're close to. Like, people don't usually prioritize them not being seen as guilty unless they expect to be seen as guilty, you know? In my opinion. What the fuck do I know, really? But, and it's still not back. Also, too, like, so if you didn't watch Friday's cross-examination or the beginning of the cross-examination of Trooper Buchanan by Alan Jackson, you really should check it out, because Jackson had Buchanan read the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed. And come to find out, it seems that the first trial, they didn't display or submit all of the text messages. There's a lot of like shit left out. The context is pretty much the same, but there's still shit left out. And it really does appear to be that right before, or right around like the 23rd maybe of January, that Brian did maybe possibly go over to Karen Reed's house. And I don't know what transpired, but whatever it is, it seems as though that event just took away any and all interest Karen had in Brian, it seems, or Higgins. And I wonder what that was, because and he even seen his demeanor in the text messages even seemed to change a little bit too, you know, but hers definitely did. She was like, that's when she definitely started ghosting him. I'm kind of curious, like, what that might have been. Late night at the Waterfalls Side Bar and Grill last night. Wicked hungover. I can't do accents for shit. I know, but still, I'm gonna try. I have to say this. I feel like I'm getting gypped here because there's been a lot of discussion about a car throughout the time, SUV, car, whatever. But car could have been used dozens and dozens of times by people talking either in testimony or questioning throughout the first trial and this trial. But they seem to go way out of their way to use the word vehicle instead of car. So we don't get to hear the Boston accent say car. I feel gypped. Okay, we're back. Why are we back on fan? Oh, you're looking in, that's why. So 30 and 1/3 minutes later, is it? I thought they were supposed to start at 10, but they don't want to be 16 minutes or something. I don't know. I have found my gun again. Okay. Still showing no one. Oh well. Short break while jury enters. Let's see what else is going on over Twitter. There's been a lot of helicopters going over my house lately. I don't know why. Like the Air Force Base still has some traffic, I guess, but like not a lot, not in years. Like, but why helicopters? Oh, so Karen Reed has completely taken over TikTok, and it's almost entirely free Karen Reed, and almost entirely women. Women relate to Karen Reed. They call her, quote, our girl, because the only difference between her and other women is luck. Every woman has dealt with a Yuri Buchanan or a Brian Higgins and a John O'Keefe. She didn't want to leave her home in Mansfield that night, but John wanted a ride. She didn't want to fuck Brian Higgins. She just wanted to vent and feel appreciated. Yeah, I think that that's largely true. And he was willing to play the role of gay best friend who read the whole thing wrong. She didn't want to go to Brian Albert's house, but John needed a ride, so she agreed to. And the Boston cop had no qualms getting in the car with an allegedly drunk driver. Now he's dead, and she's dealing with the repercussions of his bad choices. I think it's more than just his bad choices, but I don't think she's guilty, obviously, no. I was reading a tweet by TurtleBoy. Are they coming back now? No, they're not. How long does it take for like 12 people to walk into a room? Or 15, is it, with the alternates? I don't know. There we go.
You are unmuted.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Taboo. I get it. What do you want, cat? Come on. Come on. Here you go. Kitty wants to say hi. Thank you.
Hey. All persons have any business.
Ow.
Family County. Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court before the county of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attention.
She didn't want to say hi.
I'd say the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is now open. You may be seated.
All right. Good morning again, Council. Good morning, Ms. Reed. Good morning, Julie. We appreciate your patience this morning. We're trying really hard to cut back on the sidebar conferences, so we spent some time this morning, hopefully paving the way for that to be able to happen. We do appreciate your patience. I do have to ask you guys questions. You all able to follow the instructions and refrain from discussing this case? Everyone says yes or no. Were you also able to follow the instruction and refrain from doing any independent investigation into this case? Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about the case left there? Everyone said no. Thank you. Could we have Sergeant Buchanan again, please? And Mr. Jackson, can go to.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry about that.
Sergeant, I'll remind you, you're on the road. Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. I'm here listening. I'm just gonna.
All right, Mr. Jackson, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
I'd like to ask you, just to start off with, at some point during the course of your investigation, did you become aware that a snowplow driver had reported having seen a Ford Edge being moved into a location in front of 34 Fairview sometime in the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022?
We learned about a plow truck driver. I don't believe his collection was as you described, though.
Do you remember him mentioning a Ford Edge?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember him saying that the Ford Edge had moved, he passed by, it wasn't there. At some point, he passed by again, and it was there, impeding his plow route?
Yes.
Okay. What's your best memory about when he said he believed the Ford Edge, sorry, I guess a better way to put it is, did he say he first saw the Ford Edge in place in front of 34 Fairview?
I don't remember exactly. I know it was the middle of the night. My not adopting your narrative was the fact that he saw it being moved there.
This is what's going to present the problem, because Proctor was the one who led the investigation. He's the one who talked to all these people and everything. It wasn't Buchanan here, but because Proctor's not being put on the stand and it looks like the prosecution's not going to end up calling them, then, you know, he's kind of stuck asking Buchanan. And then fucking Brennan wants to sit there and get his objections heard to stop that from it's, I don't know.
Understood. I figured that. I clocked that as soon as I said it. He didn't see it moved. He saw it. He saw 34 Fairview without it there. Then about an hour later, it was there.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Would about 3:30 in the morning sound right to you in terms of what he reported, in terms of time that he saw it there?
It sounds right, but I'm not sure of the exact time. My report would reflect the accurate time.
Fair enough. Let me see if I can grab that. let me ask this. Well, it's a very lengthy report. Instead of making you sit there, let me ask this. Do you remember him saying that he had first plowed the area free of the Ford Edge? In other words, first past 34 Fairview around 2:30 in the morning? Does that sound right?
I believe his dispatch time for the plowing of the roads that evening was 2:30. But again, I would have to look at my.
That's fine. And then it was.
And not for nothing, the plow truck driver, he's like my favorite one out of this entire trial. Like there's like no, like, just painfully honest person throughout this entire thing, in my opinion.
Sometimes subsequent there too, that he saw the Ford Edge in place, maybe an hour later.
About right.
Okay. Did you take any investigative steps when you learned about this snowplow driver to determine who, if anyone, might have owned a Ford Edge associated with 34 Fairview?
I did not know.
Did the investigation ever reveal that the Albert family actually had a Ford Edge at the time?
Yes.
When did the investigation
I want to
reveal
shift
that?
gears for a second to One Meadows, if I could, and ring video evidence associated with One Meadows. You testified that on direct examination that there was no video from Ring at or around the time 12:36 a.m. When Miss Reed's SUV returned. You did receive a
All right, we'll just
search warrant returned from the Ring Corporation in furtherance of a search warrant executed by Trooper Proctor, correct? Former Trooper Proctor.
There it goes. Okay.
Evidence was returned by Ring. Yes.
And in addition to the actual video recordings, there was also an activity log that was returned associated with that time and that location from the Ring Corporation, correct?
There was a key log identifying each video that was provided by the time and date when the video was recorded. It's not an activity log per se for the account. It's strictly a key describing the video, telling you what time the video was recorded.
During the entirety of your investigation, was there any evidence uncovered at all that Ms. Reed had accessed the account information associated with that Ring account?
No evidence could be provided by Ring documenting that activity.
But
there is evidence that someone had accessed the account through John O'Keefe's cell phone, correct?
I am not aware of that.
Are you aware that
how are you not aware of that?
after John O'Keefe's cell phone was recovered by Massachusetts State Police, someone at Massachusetts State Police actually opened the Ring app on his cell phone? Who is the person who opened and accessed the Ring app on John O'Keefe's cell phone?
I'm not 100% sure.
Meaning, translation, it was Proctor, in my opinion.
I have just a moment. Your Honor.
Yes.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at a report, perhaps?
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
If you take a look at that 3-page report and tell me if that refreshes your recollection.
Oh, shit. Mhm. Oh, that's whose number it is.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Sergeant, having looked at this report, does it refresh your recollection as to who may have accessed that Ring app?
Yes, that report is authored by Matt Proctor, and it says that investigators accessed the Ring application.
Thank you. I want to show you one other document, if I could.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I've just handed you what purports to be the search warrant return for the Ring, from the Ring company, correct?
I got to take a look through all of it.
Of course. Take your time.
You know, I think them not calling troopers going to backfire on them, because then the jury's pretty much only going to hear about this investigation through Trooper Buchanan here. And clearly he wasn't super involved in it, you know? It was mostly Trooper or Proctor. So this is just going to come off making it look like he just didn't do anything. Like the investigation didn't do anything. I mean, I guess really, if your choices are depict the investigator being Proctor or possible just like negligence through not doing anything, I guess this would be the lesser of two evils. But I mean, either way, I think the outcome's going to be the same.
Thank you, Sergeant. Have you had an opportunity to review that document?
I have.
Does it indicate that in addition to several other files, there is a login session report that was produced at the Ring Corporation as well? It's highlighted on that page.
Number 4 is highlighted with one Excel file containing login session information.
Thank you. May I approach?
Yes.
And again, just to make sure very clear about this, nothing from the Ring Corporation suggested or intimated that Ms. Reed actually acted. Related to your trip to the hospital and your observation specific to Mr. O'Keefe's right arm. You indicated that you saw bruising on his right arm in addition to the abrasions, the parallel abrasions that you described, correct?
I believe bruising is very similar to abrasion.
That's my question. Can we, Your Honor, with the court's permission, can we show Exhibit 1? It's already been introduced. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw in terms of the condition of Mr. O'Keefe's arm while at the hospital, if not exactly like this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What did you mean when you said you saw bruising on his arm? What were you talking about?
I actually indicated bruising on his right hand, the back of his right hand.
Okay,
There's no way.
fair enough. From his wrist, when I say arm, can we agree, at least for this purpose for the purposes of this discussion, that I mean from the wrist up to the shoulder?
Mhm.
Did you see any bruising from the wrist to his shoulder?
I saw exactly what's depicted there with the abrasions and lacerations.
Okay. You know what lividity is, correct?
I do.
Okay. Describe for the jurors what lividity is.
Lividity is the pooling of blood inside the body as a deceased individual falls or is positioned naturally with gravity. Blood begins to settle in the lowest portions of the body. If you're laying face down, it'd be your face. It also contours to the imprint or the force that's exerted on the body from below. If someone's deceased on TV remote control, you can see the remote control of the buttons underneath from the pressure.
So it's a bluish, purplish discoloration of the skin, not from impact, but from the pooling of blood after the heart stops, correct?
That's correct.
Do you see an area at the upper arm that the skin looks discolored in addition to the abrasions that we see?
I'm sorry, I was looking at that one.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Yes. Right up toward the upper biceps, triceps area.
I see that area, yes.
Okay. Is that consistent with lividity rather than bruising?
I would not agree with that, no.
You believe that that's a bruise?
It looks
I
like
believe
it
that
might have
that's
even
a
started clouding.
laceration.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the discoloration of the skin, the reddish purplish hue of the skin, separate and apart from the abrasion, from the abrasions or lacerations to the skin. The discoloration. Do you see that discoloration or no?
I do not know.
You do not?
I do not know.
Okay, we can take that down. As you sit here today, you're not suggesting that you saw bruising from the wrist to the shoulder on John O'Keefe's arm.
Nothing that stood out to me.
Okay.
I observed lacerations and abrasions.
All right, thank you. I want to shift gears one more time and ask you about your trip to Dighton and the seizure of the SUV. You testified that you seized the SUV somewhere, I think your testimony on direct examination was somewhere around 4:15, 4:17, something like that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does 4:12 sound like it could be a reasonable time that SUV was actually seized in Massachusetts State Police custody?
It could be reasonable. I'd have to refer to the video evidence that, and then also the exact time that we advised the defendant that we are going to be seizing it. I guess it could be argued that that's what was seized. We had the intent to seize it right there.
Right. Took the key fob, went outside, had a, had a tow truck driver actually put it onto the back of a flatbed. Ultimately, it was transported, correct?
Correct.
And you became aware at some point that there was video evidence. You just referenced it. Video evidence of that, I'm going to call it seizure process. Is that right?
Yes.
And that video evidence had a timestamp on it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're also aware, as the supervisor of Michael Proctor, that he swore under oath in multiple affidavits in support of search warrants that the SUV was seized at 5:30 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And you knew at the time, because you were actually there, and you knew when the vehicle was seized, that stating under oath in an affidavit that it was 5:30 p.m. and not 4:12 p.m., that was a false statement, correct?
There's a discrepancy in time, yes.
Did you take any action, you yourself as a supervisor, did you take any action to correct that false or misleading statement? Let me ask it a different way. Did you take any action to correct that time to the accurate time of 12 in any of the affidavits that you became aware of?
No, the actual time of the seizure through the video, we learned much later. So the approximate time, 5:30, although inaccurate, I did not take any action to correct it, no.
And
Because
you received
yeah,
that
it was
video
later.
as a production from the defense. You did not have access to that video, correct?
Yes,
And so at the time that Michael Proctor actually wrote and drafted these affidavits and swore to them under oath, he did not know that a video existed, correct?
Objection.
Stage, you have to word it differently.
Sure. At the time that you, let me ask it a different way. At the time that you reviewed his declarations under oath, you did not know that a video existed.
no, we did not know.
What? How can you not know that?
If I may have just a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
Like under oath? Like the grand jury testimony or the first trial?
I want to ask you about something that was brought up on direct examination. Sustained findings as it pertains to you. You've already talked about the fact that Sergeant, you were a supervisor and were a supervisor back in January of 2022 moving forward over Trooper Proctor, correct?
Yes,
Generally speaking, as a supervisor, your job is to properly and professionally supervise, show some authority over those in your charge, right?
yes,
Michael Proctor was in fact a trooper in your charge.
yes,
And you would agree that your supervision has a direct impact on the character and quality of the subordinate investigators that you supervise.
yes,
The whole point of having supervision and a chain of command is to establish a certain amount of, for lack of a better phrase, quality control of the subordinates.
yes.
No, was Trooper Buchanan, was he demoted as a result of this? I want to say that he was. I don't know though.
That would also include quality control over the subordinates' investigations.
Yes,
On August 17th, 2022, you were in a group text with the following individuals: Michael Proctor, Trooper Kukowski, a lieutenant named Fanning, and a trooper named DeCicco, D-I-C-I-C-C-O, correct?
yes.
Oh my God, I forgot about that group chat.
Mayor, John.
Yes.
Handing you a document. Can you tell me if you recognize that document?
So I see the poll there on this thing. 13 juror poll. How believable is Sergeant Buchanan's testimony? Not believable is at 71%. A little believable is 18%. Most
Recognize
very
parts of
believable is
it.
You
4%.
saw that document on direct examination. I think you were shown the same document, correct?
It was different parts of it, but same. It's inclusive of within this document.
Okay. let's start with this. You indicated that you did not see Michael Proctor's name on that document, correct?
Correct. His name is not on here.
But you do recognize that as being accurately reflective of the text chain that you were on August 17th, 2022, that group chat.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to do this a little bit backward, but bear with me. You do see the name Kukowski, correct?
But what happened? Is it me that did that? What? Well, I'm still streaming, so it might be the stream. I don't know. I'm showing 3 bars, so I don't think the internet's my issue, but I could be wrong. It's reloading though now.
Chico to the group, correct?
Yeah.
It possibly appears that way. I really can't. I mean,
Your Honor, with the
Yes.
permission, I'm not sure this document has been marked. I'd like this marked and
Sure,
admitted.
we'll mark it for ID.
I'd actually have it marked and admitted. There's certain things I'd like to show.
What's the law's position on that?
I have no objection to admission, but not in this form. It needs to be redacted.
Can you do it?
What I intend to do, I can do with one photograph. I may have with counsel.
Okay.
Yeah, he has new filters.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to publish just one page of what's been marked for identification. I'm sorry, I would ask that it be marked, the entire document be marked for identification.
Yes.
you gonna need this.
And with the court's permission, I would ask to display or to publish page 2683 of that document.
So are you admitting into evidence, page 263?
I would
Do you
just,
have a separate one rather than tearing it out of what's been marked for
I can-
identification?
I can take it out of this copy.
Snapchat always gets a lot of new filters for women, but not to make you look like a dude. I don't know
It's
why.
been redacted.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're talking about the same thing, Sergeant. I've just handed you a page. It's been marked Exhibit 116. Do you recognize that as being a copy of one of the multiple pages in the document that you're holding that's been marked for identification as FF?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if we could publish that single page, please.
Okay.
Is that a photograph that was sent by Trooper DeChico to the group?
According to this document, yes.
Who is depicted in the photograph?
The big story, Mr. David Yannetti, criminal defense attorney.
Do you see that person in court?
Yes.
Seated, what is he wearing?
He's seated right there wearing a blue tie and a dark suit, white shirt.
Thank you. We can bring the lights up, Your Honor.
Young
Um,
picture.
In response to, and going back to the multi-page document FF, in response to Trooper Tachiko's photograph that he sent to the group, you responded to that photograph, did you not?
Yes, this document indicates so, yes.
And you responded by laughing at it, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Well, that's what it says, or that's what you did?
I don't remember.
Trooper Proctor then, former Trooper Proctor, Michael Proctor, then responded, correct?
That's what it says here, yes.
And he responded to the group, funny, going through his retarded client's phone, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Michael Proctor then responded again. Is that right?
Yes.
He wrote, no nudes so far, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Michael Proctor responded yet again. Is that right?
That's correct.
And in reference to Mr. Yeti's photograph, he wrote, I hate that man. I truly hate him. Correct?
It'll start playing again. I think. There we go.
There is.
And he disliked Trooper Proctor's phrase, his statement, no nudes so far, correct?
That's what it says.
Did that indicate to you that Moore was disappointed that Trooper Proctor, Michael Proctor, had not found naked pictures of Miss Reed as yet?
I don't know what that indicated for Mr. Moore.
And then you responded to the phrase, funny, I'm going through his retarded client's phone, correct?
I acknowledged that text message being sent.
You acknowledged it by liking it, correct? With a thumbs up.
I acknowledged it by responding with a thumbs up emoji.
The fact is, Trooper Proctor told you, his supervisor, in this series of text messages, that he was going through Miss Reed's phone. Is that right?
Correct.
And he also informed you, his supervisor, that he was going through her phone looking for nudes or naked pictures of her on her phone, correct?
He did not tell me that he was going through naked pictures, for naked pictures through the phone.
He wrote, no
No
nudes
nudes.
so
Yeah.
far, right?
That is what is written, yes.
What did you think he was looking for when he wrote that phrase?
I don't know what he was looking for.
What would be a
Oh,
reasonable interpretation of what Michael Proctor was looking for when he wrote, no nudes so far?
I don't know.
Just
Motorcycles?
fucking
handbags,
come on. Oh my god.
shoes,
Like, okay,
or naked pictures?
I get like English is his third language, but come on, he's definitely displayed he's got a good grasp on the language. He knows exactly what nudes means.
Pictures of Miss Karen Reed.
His mission was to go through the phone to look for digital evidence that's related to the crime.
Yeah,
The
okay.
fact that he wrote no nude so far, I cannot comment on.
You cannot comment on, or you don't want to comment on.
I don't know what he was looking for in that specific time.
You certainly did nothing. You took no action to stop him from potentially looking for naked pictures of my client, correct?
That's correct.
In fact, last week you testified that in your view, Michael Proctor handled himself in this investigation with integrity. That's what you said, correct?
That's correct.
Do you stand by that testimony?
The investigation was handled with integrity and honor.
Do you stand by your testimony that Michael Proctor conducted himself during the course of this investigation with integrity?
Yes, I do.
He also called her retarded, correct?
That is what's written.
That's what's written? That's a very passive way of saying it, Sergeant. That's what's written, or that's what he wrote?
That's what he wrote.
Oh, shit.
And that's what you read.
Sorry.
I have no memory of reading that. I acknowledged him going through the phone on my Apple Watch. I have no memory of him writing retarded on a text message.
And you'll agree that that is one of the most vile and insensitive and incendiary terms one could use in modern society. Retarded, correct?
That is correct.
And in fact, through your response to that vile phrase, you encouraged it because you liked it with a thumbs up, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you encourage that statement by Michael Proctor by liking it with a thumbs up?
I don't know if it encouraged him, but so I cannot speak to
But
that.
that's what you did.
I acknowledged the text message being sent.
I want to be clear. These text messages were sent to you by your direct report, by your direct subordinate, correct?
That's correct.
And there was even someone on that text chain who was more senior than you, Lieutenant Fanning, right?
That's correct.
Michael Proctor was both your partner and investigator on this case when he wrote that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's a subordinate, and he was the case officer.
This thread, text thread, contains communications between a subordinate, the person you call the case officer. By the way, let me ask you a question. Did you ever, during the course of the investigation in which you were a part, the sustained findings, the internal affairs investigation, did you ever review Colonel Noble's determinations about your subordinate, Michael Proctor?
Objection.
Did you review them?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
What would Colonel Noble call Michael Proctor's title in this case? You think he'd call him the case officer or the lead investigator? What is your experience with Massachusetts State Police in that regard?
Objection.
Sustained.
Notwithstanding the fact that a subordinate was on this text chain and a supervisor to you, was Lieutenant Fanning one of your supervisors?
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that a subordinate was on this text chain and one of your supervisors was on this text chain, you felt comfortable enough within this group of law enforcement to actually like when the subordinate refers to a suspect as retarded, correct?
I acknowledged the text message with a thumbs up emoji.
Do you believe that? Well, let me ask it another question, a predicate question. You were also comfortable enough with that text chain to receive information that your subordinate was looking for naked pictures on a suspect's phone, a woman, no less. Correct? You took no remedial action against Trooper Proctor for that, correct?
No, I did not. No.
Do you believe, as you sit here, that that was a misuse of power and authority by a Massachusetts state police officer?
By myself or
No,
somebody else?
by Michael Proctor.
Misuse of what?
Misuse of authority and power to go through a suspect's phone, to get her phone using the authority and the power vested in that officer by the community members. That's the power that you derive, correct? You work for the public. Would you agree?
Sustained.
All right.
Do you
So
believe it was a misuse?
I've been trying to look this up because I'm curious. Like, when police seize a cell phone for an investigation for evidence, like, was Trooper Proctor allowed to go through the phone himself? Like, there was nothing of urgency. There's nothing in danger of being deleted or wiped or whatever, because he had the phone in his possession. So there was no, like, I don't know, like, urgent manner for him to go through it right then and there. I'm curious, like, are the detectives who were working a case in, say, in the Massachusetts State Police Departments anyways, are they allowed to just grab the evidence and just scroll through it themselves? Or does it have to be done by the actual, like cyber forensics team, you know, using the proper software to extract things? And then that analysis or whatever is then handed off to the investigator. I'm curious. I wonder what the answer is. That's all. Sorry.
Of his authority and power to use Massachusetts State Police Authority to go through her phone and look for naked pictures of her.
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you believe it was a misuse of authority or power to go through her phone and potentially look for nudes?
Objection.
Sustained.
Why?
Let me ask it differently.
I mean, the dude's already been
Do you think
fired.
his text was appropriate?
Clearly, he was not doing appropriate shit.
I don't remember reading that text.
As you
So
sit here now, do you think that text is appropriate?
no, it is not.
Do you think it's professional?
No, it is not.
Do you think it shows integrity?
That text message does not show integrity.
Do you think it shows honor? A word I expect you hold dear.
That text message does not show honor.
On October 15th, 2022, you completed a performance review of Michael Proctor, correct?
That's correct.
Specifically, you were asked to rank his, quote, oral and written communication skills, end quote, correct?
Correct.
That's part of an overall evaluation and performance review. Is that right?
Yes, overall 90-day quarterly annual review.
You were specifically asked to rank whether he effectively would whether members, your subordinates, would effectively communicate with others, both within and outside the department, in oral and written form, correct?
That's correct.
And you rated him as exceptional, a number 4 rating out of 5, correct?
That's correct.
You actually went on to write and comment on Michael Proctor, and you wrote, quote, Trooper Michael Proctor displays professional demeanor, composure, dignity, and respect during the performance of his duties, and especially during his interactions with the public. This is seen during interviews with witnesses, suspects, as well as victims and their families, end quote. That was a statement you wrote about Michael Proctor, correct?
That is correct.
And this is after the text chain that we've just been talking about, where he calls Miss Reed retarded and references looking for nude photographs of her, correct?
That is correct.
It was nudes, not nude photographs.
Was your statement in that evaluation true or false?
It was true.
So
You knew Michael Proctor's proclivities, obviously. He told them to you, correct?
The term proclivities,
You
what does that mean?
knew what he tended to do, what he wanted to do through his own comments, to look for nudes on a woman's phone, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
You were aware, sir, that he had received evidence in a case, evidence that doesn't belong to him, belongs to the Massachusetts State Police, at least at that point, correct? The cell phone.
I was aware that he received a cell phone, yes.
And he used that power and the authority to go through that cell phone and look for news of my client, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
During the same course of your evaluation, you were also asked to evaluate his investigative ability, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, I gotta say, from the first trial, I had a completely different impression of this dude. Like, I never thought that he would be up on the stand, basically just doubling down on Trooper or on Proctor like this. Like, I thought that he was going to be someone who distanced himself, rightfully so, and try, bring a modicum of professionalism back into this if possible. But he's just doubling down. He's throwing it all out there under the bus. Crazy.
You rated him the highest standard in the Massachusetts State Police, outstanding, a 5, correct?
That's correct.
And you went on to write about Michael Proctor in the commentary below that rating to justify it. Is that right?
That is accurate, yes.
You wrote, quote, Trooper Proctor has had a high-profile caseload with a lot of eye and pressure from external sources during the first day of the investigation. He handled himself and all the case with utmost professionalism and competence. He is able to investigate his case thoroughly and with strict integrity, end quote. Correct?
Which quarterly review was this?
This is the same one, October 2022. Is that right? Those are your comments.
Now would probably
sounds
be a
very-
good time.
Professionalism.
Yes,
You believe that he acted in accordance with the highest standards of professionalism?
during his 90-day performance, yes.
And you didn't just say he displayed professionalism, you said utmost professionalism, correct?
Yes,
Competence? Do you
Yeah.
believe he displayed competence?
yes,
And not just in integrity, but he conducted himself, as you put it, with strict integrity. Is that right?
that is correct.
No, I can't.
Did it show integrity in your view when your subordinate Michael Proctor called Miss Reed retarded?
Objection.
Why object to that?
I believe that as a U.S. citizen, he has the right to comment. That's his First Amendment right. We uphold the Constitution, and it's unfortunate, unprofessional, what he said in a private text message communication. He might have been voicing his frustrations. I cannot speak for Michael Proctor.
Are you
It is
shitting me?
unprofessional and unfortunate that he said that.
This was not, Sergeant Buchanan, a private text message conversation with his boss and 4 or 5 other individuals. One of them was your boss, correct?
Correct.
This was a communication intended for and received by members of his unit in furtherance of his investigative authority, correct?
It was amongst members of the unit.
He was updating his boss about what he was doing in furtherance of the investigation, going through her phone, correct?
Looking for nudes.
No, I would disagree with you on that. This was a group chain,
Yeah, with
text
Trooper.
message chain. We're discussing private matters in our life, personal lives.
Private matters, including going through Miss Reed's phone.
That is unfortunately shared on that group
So,
text.
so in other words, to the public, he holds one face in private conversations with you and your colleagues within the unit, he shows a completely different face, private face, correct?
Objection.
You said that you believe that he has a constitutional right, a First Amendment right, to call Miss Reed a suspect in his official investigation, in his official capacity as a Massachusetts state trooper.
And he does. And that right was protected by him not being persecuted by the government for having done so. He was ended up eventually being reprimanded by the agency he was employed by and represented. It's not the same thing. So.
To call her retarded? That's your justification?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you justify his statement, that vile statement?
I do not know.
Do you think it's appropriate, given the fact that he has a First Amendment right to say whatever he wants?
No, I do not.
Do you think there actually might be members of the community, parents, siblings,
Objection.
children?
Mr. Jackson, I'm going to exclude that question as argumentative. Move on.
You wrote in your report, if I may have a moment, Your Honor, you wrote in your report about his conduct. He shows composure, dignity, and respect during the performance of his duties, and especially during his interactions with the public. He has a duty to the public, to the community that he serves, correct?
Yes, he does.
Just like you have a duty to the public and the community that you serve. Is that right?
That is correct.
Do you think community members might take offense to the use of the
Objection.
word retarded?
Sustained.
You're in his duty. Apparently, he thinks that it's his duty to undermine the agency in which he works for and to tarnish their works and their efforts in investigations. And he finds it in his duty to do this in his effort to what? Support someone who's been fired. Like this is making him look just as bad as Proctor.
Sustained. It's argumentative again, Mr. Jackson. Please don't do that.
He didn't just put it, that derogatory comment. He didn't just put it, or he didn't just say it, correct? You talked about the First Amendment.
Objection.
Sustained.
I'm not finished with my question.
All right, so just ask the question.
Sure.
No comments first, okay?
My question is, did he just say the word, or did he go further than just saying it?
Mm-hmm.
Objection.
Okay, we've
What-
gone through this. Move on, please.
The fact is, Sergeant, you put it in writing and you liked it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I acknowledge the text message. I never saw the vile term.
But you didn't like any others, I'm guessing, right? You acknowledge any others, right? You just acknowledge that one, maybe, or maybe a handful of others, but
You know what I mean? We approached it just very briefly
Easy.
from a scheduling issue.
it wasn't me
Jurors, feel
Just
free
me
to stand up.
acknowledging that the text message appeared. So fucking silly. Or other dumb things. I had them right here. Okay, there. I'm really poor. I don't like waiting for court to start. I mean, I get that they can't air everything that they're discussing or doing or whatever, but I mean, just, I don't know. They should play something more interesting, like an intermission kind of entertainment or something. I don't know. Something other than the fan. Oh, I never took my Motrin today. That's right. And a yellow one. Okay. I'm bored. I'm waiting for them to start again. Their sidebar or whatever. I want to know what happened to the rest of these because I had all kinds of colors. These things are really awesome though. Like if you don't want to burn your fingers on something, I mean, like it can withstand like all heat for like long periods of time. But like if it's a curling iron or if you're cooking something or like a glue gun or whatever, it totally protects you. You can actually like grab shit for a few seconds. There's silicone. Oh, this is silicone too. This mat, it's not. It's a bar mat. I don't think it's silicone. I don't know what it's made out of actually. What's going on over in their chat? Oh, wait, I paused it a few times, so I could probably jump ahead a little bit. And it's still on the pan. Okay. Yeah. It's interesting just how many different avenues Proctor created for people, for the defense to really display aspects of his original testimony from the first trial without him being on the stand, you know? I mean, with the group text and having his superior up there, it's, you know, just that shouldn't exist like that. It shouldn't. Short break is like military intelligence, civil war, deafening silence, and on and on. Oxymorons. Yeah. It is there, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're on a short break. I thought it was like a sidebar thing or whatever. Let me go back.
Your Honor, may we approach it just very briefly for a scheduling issue?
Briefly,
Okay.
you fucking
Joyce, feel
liar.
free to stand up.
But yeah, so it's not a short break. Can't PT should have a Trust Me Pro badge stitched to their uniform. And their new department song should be Red Solo Cup. Oh, well, while we're waiting for this shit, there is something fucking hilarious I seen regarding this on Twitter. All right, I'm looking for it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, shoot! I didn't mean to go full screen yet. Okay, so this is shared by Say What. At least that's where I found it, anyways. At the volume up. Yep.
My name is TurtleBoy. Today, I work to bring justice.
I don't recall that information. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall.
What do you remember, Miss McCabe?
I do conveniently recall the exact perfect details that incriminate King Reed.
Unfortunately, I was kicked out of the courtroom today, but am still fighting the good fight from my Twitter.
Would you consider these text messages romantic and flirty?
Absolutely not. They are normal.
Objection! 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 I said I liked you from jump. Defendant, respond. You're hot. I responded. Are you serious? Defendant responded. You're from my neighborhood.
Jurors, we are ending early today.
I thought it was funny. So, and we're still on the hand. See what else is there I can look at while we're waiting. All right, so okay, so like I don't go through people's accounts really that often on Twitter, but past couple days I've been going through Aiden Carey's account and another account for my side here. But he's got a lot of shit posted on his Twitter. I never even realized. I'm gonna turn my camera off though because I'm gonna have to put my glasses on to see, otherwise I can't. All right. So, oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit that. All right, go ahead and share this. Okay, well, interrogating a normal mom over rubber ducks, Bukaki told her that he couldn't take her word for it, that she wasn't intimidating Chris Albert because people lie to us. Yet his entire investigation into Karen Reed and the reason he focused solely on her as a suspect was because he blindly believed everything Jennifer McCabe told him. So here, the same day, Buchanan says, same day. I had no idea. All right. I believe it. I believe it. But from our perspective, we have to investigate. You can take my word. I take your word from I take your word. From our perspective, we have to investigate everything. And, believe me when I tell you that people lie to us. And I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm saying, people lie to us. So we have to take the evidence and the facts for what they are, okay? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Yep. Thanks. Thank you. Take care. Okay. Right. Well, interrogating Okay. All right, let's see if any of these came up. All right, we'll try another one. Yuri Buknik interrogated her for original. It's the same thing. There we go. Are these coming up though too? What the fuck? Okay. What, you what? What did he call you, a loser? I feel like a loser. He said real mature loser. Yeah, real mature loser. I don't know, something. Yeah, real mature. Real mature, real mature. To put it to context, because they've been dealing with a year plus of nonstop harassment, threats, intimidation, strictly, as I told your wife about, strictly because they were witnesses in a homicide case. Somebody's life was taken. They witnessed it. And they were part of the investigation. So they did, their civic duty and testified to their observations. So they've endured an incredible harassment, intimidation, and threats to their life, their loved ones' lives. So they feel very attacked. When you send a message such as free Karen Reed, FKR, like you said, you put on the little duck that you put in front of the business there, he took it as there's a video camera. He's constantly surveilling his property because it was picked up. We saw the message on the duck. Why is this a thing? Why? It's still on break. I would also like to know, because this is something I've been thinking about too, is how is this a state police matter and not a Canton police matter? I can't answer that for you, but I would only venture to say the fact that the state police, we as detectives and in the district attorney's office, we investigate homicides, and this being relative to the homicide investigation and the witnesses in the homicide investigation being intimidated and harassed. That's why we are. See, to me, this feels like intimidation to me. So you feel intimidated by me talking to you, Buchanan says. I feel intimidated, Gary says. But you leaving ducks in front of... Nah. I feel intimidated by you showing up at my house with a gun. And all of this for putting down a duck instead of the Canton police coming. This is the state police. You clearly testified in the case. Sergeant's like, yeah. You're involved in the case. Yes, I am. You come to my house about a little duck that was put down makes me feel intimidated. Sergeant says, how am I intimidating you? It's a duck. Sergeant says, but how are you intimidating a duck? Exactly. And then Sergeant says, and they have emotions. They have lives of their own. They have been extremely intruded upon. So, they feel attacked. They feel like their civil liberties have been violated by all of the hoopla flying around it. Well, at least they still have their lives because, there's someone involved in all of this who just doesn't anymore. I understand. If you people protesting in front of your house, how would you feel, right? And then Sergeant ends it with, No, you answered my questions. I appreciate your time. I hope my answers were adequate for you guys. But just what we have to do, because we have to enforce the laws and maintain order and civil order in our society. Because if we don't, the next episode of Knots, I'm not saying with this, like how the dude's throwing his fucking career away. I mean, you can argue, say that he kind of already did that with the last trial, his actions that led up to the last trial and all that, but he hadn't been fired yet. It's like now he just wants to be fired, it seems. I don't know. I mean, if Proctor gave a shit about Buchanan's career, his job, his livelihood, his family that he probably helped support and shit. If Proctor gave a shit about that, he wouldn't have put his supervisor in such a predicament that he's in now. Why is he going to bat for Proctor here? I don't understand it. What? Why would he do that? If this is true, and I don't know if it's true, but how can Brennan submit a motion to voir dire his own witness, who he's already questioned under direct examination? Is he trying to voir dire his witness to prevent the cross examination? I don't understand what this means. I don't even see how that's a thing. Oh, side quest. Oh my god. So this is my side quest following the JLR and TurtleBoy / Aiden Kearney kind of battle or whatever on social media, and this looks funny. Dateline reports that Brian Koberger left Pennsylvania on June 25th, 2022, and arrived in Pullman, Washington on June 30th, 2022. He drove across the country in his Elantra. 38 drive took him 5 days to complete. Where did Koberger stop and visit along the way? Aiden says, your mom's house, because he wanted to have sex with her. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, yeah, hi. It's such a Boston fucking remark too. Come back. It's wow. That was good. Still got a fan up. Okay. I want to see if they've been going to add. Oh, wait a minute. I can do this. No, I can't do that. Oh, wait, I can. Investigates? Shit, I don't remember now. Where'd it go? Yeah, jail alarm. Oh, shit. My mouse fell off the desk. Okay. Okay. This one starts off with. Am I still? Uh-oh. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. All right, I'm still streaming. I just lost connection to any audio. I might try to play through share screen. I'll do this just in case. Okay. Why aren't I getting the first? It says replying. Where's the first tweet? Okay. Why is Prison Boy so afraid of me? I don't bite, Prison Boy. Why didn't you come to Dedham? I know your shtick didn't go the way you thought it would when you came last year, but I didn't think you'd give up so easily. Serious. Why are you lying? Oh, I see you unblocked me, Prison Boy. How come you haven't come to the retrial? I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. Court officer sits down next the father of Karen Reed. Something happened. Oh, he just said no. Okay. All right, these I already read. He's afraid. Oh, he's afraid of TurtleBoy like Yuri. Really? Cared a lot. Seriously, why are you lying? Okay. Well, I guess not much was really going on there in the side quest. Except for your mom's house. Oh my god, that was funny. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to head on over to TikTok here real quick because I read on TurtleBoy's Twitter there that TikTok seems to be the, I don't know, seems to be a place where people are talking all about this shit now. All right, so the court is on break for those who might have just come in or stopped in for a moment. We're still on break. The court is on a short break, it says. And it's on a short break for not so much of a short time, I guess, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's short, and I guess it all depends on what you compare it to. I'm just very impatient. Hmm. Right, so I'm going to take a short break here along with the court for a minute. I'm going to use the restroom, maybe grab a new soda or something. I don't know. I'm just going to take a few minutes, stretch my legs, and then I'll come back and look at TikTok if court is not yet back. So let me put the banner back up. Only have to change it now. Let me put this up. There we go. All right, be back in a few minutes. So I'm going to play the Wet Dream song again. Here you go.
Every time you close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Close your eyes, dream of me. I wanna be a fantasy. Imagine the water falling all on me. I wanna be in your wet dreams, in your wet dreams. Be in your wet dreams. I wanna be in your wet dreams. In your wet dreams. I wanna.
All right, court's back.
Is there?
Rise to the jury.
Why is it? Oh, he's right, because the jury's coming in. Duh. And I found my other finger thing.
This court is in session. Please be
Or a
seated.
couple of them anyway.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant, I'd like to move to a different area. At some point during the course of your investigation, you and Michael Proctor interviewed Chris and Julie Albert, correct?
That's correct.
That was at Albert, the Chris and Julie Albert residence, is that right?
Yes.
On or about February 10th, 2022?
Yes.
Does that sound right? Okay. At any point before or during that interview, did Michael Proctor discuss with you a previous relationship that he and or his family had with Chris and Julie Albert or their family?
Yes. We're walking up to the door. He stated that he knows them from he knows of them from around town
Of them?
and through friendship.
Come on,
Did that
really?
cause you any concern that the case officer that had been assigned to the case, dealing with, obviously involving the Albert family, had a pre-existing familiarity or relationship with
None of your
any
word.
members of the Albert family?
Yes, I followed up asking him if he hangs out with these people, how well he knows them. And he said that he does not hang out with them. They're not his friends. He just happens to know them through people in town.
Did he tell you any specifics about communications he had related to Chris and Julie Albert?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you any specifics about communications Michael Proctor had with his sister as it pertained to Chris and Julie Albert?
No.
Did he volunteer information about the relationship that he might have or his family might have, including his wife, with Chris and Julie Albert?
That information did not come up.
Did you ever later learn, now I'm taking it outside of your conversation with Michael Proctor, did you ever later learn about friendship or connection that he and his family, Michael Proctor's family, had with Chris and Julie Albert or the Albert family?
I've learned of accusations. I don't know the extent of how familiar they are.
What accusations have you learned?
Not much of a detective, then, are you?
Through trial or through court proceedings.
What are they?
What are
Give me
they?
the nature of what you've.
Sustained. We need a time frame.
Sure. When did you learn of these of this information?
That was July of 2023, I believe.
And what were the circumstances in which you gained this knowledge?
It happened in July 2023.
There were accusations that Michael Proctor had a familial friendship with these individuals, but the accusations
Participated
were
in
not factual.
weddings.
Did you learn any specifics
Of
the allegations? Do you use the word allegations or accusations?
yes,
Were there any specifics? You said that there. What were specifics?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, By the way, did you learned of these accusations during the last proceeding case
Not the last proceeding. I
or a
said
prior proceeding in this case?
it was through court proceedings.
Okay. How did you learn that specifically, Sergeant? Did you watch some of the proceedings? Were they televised? Did someone report it to you? What were the circumstances?
Like what court proceedings? Because you just said learn or hear the accusations or whatever in June of 2023. The last trial didn't start until 2024. So what court proceedings is he referencing?
I was present in court.
This was what year? 2020, 2023.
Yes.
And did you take any action to investigate further the accusations that you said came up in 2023?
No. Well, yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. What did you do in that regard? What were the accusations and what did you do to investigate?
The information had been learned and that it was not factual. So
Okay. You used the word information.
What information?
Help me out. Details. What did you learn?
there was claims that
May we approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Oh my God! I want to become a member of the channel so I can chat with these people. It's fucking hilarious. John O'Keefe's family. What does justice for John O'Keefe look like? Is court TV saying that they asked John O'Keefe's family that? I don't understand. You know what I wonder? I mean, I don't know. Because it does seem like there's a lot of corruption in Massachusetts, Canton, especially, maybe even some of the state police. Whatever. I wonder if John O'Keefe learned of things. I also kind of wonder if he was like working with the Justice Department to help expose the things being done or said or whatever. Because I know that there was some talk or whatever about people being pissed, or in the McAlberts family or whatever, being pissed at John O'Keefe for allegedly making some report about Colin. Is it Colin Albert or Colin McCain? I don't remember. Colin, allegedly selling drugs or something. Sidebar. They even put a little thing up saying sidebar. Well, it's so fucking long. What was I? Oh no, it was where I was taking a break. That's what I did before. Oh, but I was gonna pull up the TikTok. See what's on there. Okay, good. We're back.
Final question, Sergeant. I think I asked this, but let me make sure I'm clear. Your interview along with Michael Proctor with Chris and Julie Albert was February 10th, 2022, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not certain on that, but I believe it was.
Okay. Well, let me just clear that up real quick. Would it refresh your recollection to look at your report?
Yes, absolutely.
Refresh your recollection, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. February 10th.
Thank you. Okay. I want to move to back to Canton PD. Did you at some point recover some videos or a series of electronic data that purported to be videos from Canton PD in furtherance of your investigation?
Yes.
And to whom did you deliver these videos, and whom were they requested by?
The initial request was by Michael Proctor. I delivered them to him.
Okay. Since that delivery, have you seen these videos?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I'm holding a flash drive that I'd like to have, with the court's permission, I'd like to have marked as next in order for introduction, but I'll play the first couple of seconds of it and just establish the foundation first with the court's permission.
Have you shown it or discussed this with Mr. Brennan?
I just discussed it with Mr. Brennan at the break.
What's the Commonwealth's position? I have no idea what it is.
Sure, we can mark, yes. Mr. Brennan said he'd like to review them before they get entered into evidence. We can mark it for ID for purposes of this examination.
I don't expect I'll object. I just want to review.
Okay, so we'll mark it for identification, please, Madam Court Reporter.
It's a GG for identification.
Just to establish the foundation so we know what we're talking about, did you see on some of the electronic devices that you picked up in furtherance of this investigation video of somebody outside? Now we're the outside cameras or outside camera view at Canton PD at about 1:30 in the morning on January 29th, 2022.
Would this be against?
The digital video, one of the collection items. It wasn't a device. It was, I guess it is a device, but the digital storage that was collected had video from external view of the PD. I do not remember specifically seeing an individual, but
Okay.
I did
Do you
review
remember
it.
being of the parking lot area, at least one of them, one of the clips being of the parking lot area outside Canton PD?
Seriously, why not just come out and admit that? Because you know that they have the video. You know that they know the information. Why are you going to just sit and say, I really recall? And make them go through the steps of now displaying and showing this and just reminding you of what your negligence of forgetting shit. Like, why?
I don't remember seeing outside parking lot. I'd have to see it.
I understand. Do you remember another clip being of the outside?
Meanwhile, the jury's sitting there thinking probably, you know what, we could have been like 3 days ahead of right now if you just answered the fucking question instead of doing all these fucking tap dances.
Sallyport, there's a pedestrian door, not the big roll-up door, but a pedestrian door, someone going in and out of the pedestrian door.
I know the view you're talking about, but specifically what you're saying, I would have to see the video, tell you if I saw it or not.
And I'm asking a couple of these other questions. I think I may know what the answer is. There's another, do you remember another video being an internal corridor, looking down a hallway and seeing someone walk up or back?
Yes,
Do you
yes,
remember that one?
I do.
Okay, and then one on the outside, again, sort of passing from right to left, may not be attended to a parking lot, but at least an outdoor view of someone moving from frame right to frame left across the camera angle.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember that all these videos, I just mentioned 4, we've talked about 4, these videos were from January 29th, 2022, around generally 1:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning?
I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact time and date. I just remember seeing the file and reviewing it.
Do you remember Mr. Proctor asking for video attendant to January 29th? At least can we narrow it to that date?
From Canton PD?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So these are all from January 29th, 2022. You just don't remember the specifics of them. It's been too long since you've seen them.
I don't know when each video was collected and then reviewed.
Okay.
Exactly.
With the court's permission, well, may I have just a moment to confer with counsel?
Okay.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd ask that what's been marked as GG, at least the first video, be published for the jurors.
All right, so there are 4 videos on this flash drive?
One video, 4 different camera angles as it's set from the one video.
Are you ready to see this now? I thought you wanted to review it.
I'll agree, and if I have a problem, I'll I have no problem.
All right, so for the first one, the first camera angle?
Correct.
Okay.
It's one video, but 4 different angles.
All right, we just have to keep a record. That's why I'm
Understood.
asking all these
It's a little
questions.
complicated. I get it.
All right, we can do that.
Thank you.
That's it. Tell the judge you'll slow it down for her.
And this is, Your Honor, just for the record, actually, let me do it this way. Sergeant, would you agree that we can call this the rear lot main side at Canton PD, just for identification purposes?
Sure, if you'd like. I don't know which side this is, so I can't argue with you about the location. So
Okay.
I'll agree with you that we can call it that.
Great. It looks like a parking lot. There's cars.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Just for purposes of, so it doesn't get complicated, we'll call this rear lot main side. That doesn't mean anything unless you adopt it. So just for identification purposes.
Thank you.
If we could move to runtime 1:26:32. Okay. With the court's permission, may I play it at this point?
Okay.
Thank you. Stop. Did you see a car pass in front?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of car did that look like to you?
It looked like a 2-door Jeep Wrangler with a plow on it.
Okay, let's go ahead and play it.
Here you go.
Okay, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant, did you, during the course of your investigation, learn whether or not anybody associated with your investigation had a 2-door
looks like
Jeep Wrangler with a plow on it?
Does it look like he had shields on both of those lights? I want to see that pulling it one more time.
Yes.
Your investigation. Okay, stop.
Mm.
Sergeant, did you, during your investigation?
Mr. Brian Higgins.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and play this.
I don't care. I still love Jeep Wranglers. I don't give a shit. Holy shit, guys, it's snowing there.
Okay, stop. Sir, do you see a person who appears to have alighted from the car?
Yes.
from the Jeep.
The picker. Okay, man.
Sergeant, if you could turn your attention to the screen on the right. Does that appear to be the location of the person that you're describing?
That's the individual that came out of the vehicle, yes.
Okay. I know it's super blurry. You may not be able to at this point. Do you know who that is?
I do not know.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play it.
I want to rewind it for a second.
At this point, do you know who that is?
I do not know.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play it.
Come on. Ah, this fucker. It's not going to let me do it. God damn it. All right, whatever.
Okay, stop. All right. Did you see the person walk off the screen?
Yes.
Did it appear that that person had something in his or her hands?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we could play the second clip on this same GG. Before this is played, Sergeant, do you recognize what's depicted in this photograph?
I do not know.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play this. Stop. What do you see on the video at this point?
An individual crossing the frame with a couple of cars parked, one of which has a plow on it.
Does it look like an exterior video?
Yes.
Does that appear to be an exterior video if you don't know exactly where, an exterior video of Canton PD?
From the facilities, yes.
Okay. And describe the person that you see in the foreground at the bottom of the screen.
Appears to be wearing a black sweatshirt, a hooded sweatshirt.
Larger in stature,
So
smaller in
sad.
stature, can you tell?
I'd be speculating because there's no comparison, but possibly larger. I don't know.
Okay, let's go ahead and play it.
There's a
And
cone
that's
back
it
there,
for
it looks
that.
like.
Your Honor, if we could play the next video. By the way, can we agree before we move off of this, just for identification purposes, can we agree to call this rear lot cruiser side as opposed to rear lot main side, just to keep them separate?
Same as last time. I'm not aware familiar where that camera is, so I cannot argue with you nor adopt. But if for identification purposes only, we can agree on that.
Can you see from where you are, and I know the answer to this, can you see from where you are the timestamp on the bottom of this?
No.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, it's very, very small. Is it possible to ask the witness to adjourn from the witness stand just to get close enough to see if he can read the...
You can't increase the size of it?
Maybe we can. I'm not the tech guy. Mr. Wolk? Magic. Wow. I didn't even know he could do that. Okay. Can you read that?
Yes, it says rear lot cruiser side.
Okay. What about the time?
The timestamp reads 1:27:41.
Do you see a date?
Yes.
What is that date?
1/29/2022.
Thank you. This was my fault. Your Honor, if we could move back to rear lot main side, I'd like to do the same thing. I failed to ask for the time and date on that one.
I don't know, man. Seems like kind of like a rookie mistake there for an attorney to forget to date and timestamp it. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Is it possible to see from there the time and date?
Yes, the time is 1:27:32 a.m. and the date is 1/29/2022.
Thank you. Okay, if we can move to the third clip. If we could start, Mr. Wolk, by enhancing with the court's permission the time and date, let's just start with that. Do you see what the timestamp designates this camera angle to be?
Why do they call it a Sally port?
It appears to be church side. And I can't read the third word there.
Exterior?
Oh, yes, exterior. Sally port.
Okay, and if you could tell the judge what you see in terms of the time and date.
The time is 1:27:43 a.m. and the date is 1/29/2022.
Thank you. Mr. Wolk, if you could play that with the court's permission.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Stop. Do you see a person in that video?
I do.
Although it's somewhat blurry, can you describe that individual for us, please?
Individual wearing clothing, possibly. I that's the best I could do, really.
Okay. Does it appear, given what you've seen in terms of the time of the main side, cruiser side, and now this exterior church side, does that appear to be the same person moving through on the outside of Canton PD?
It does, yes.
Okay. What are we looking at here, by the way? What is this door he's about to walk into?
I'd be guessing. I was never present on that side of the Sally port.
Understood.
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and play this.
Okay, just because in case anyone listening is curious, why do cops call it a Sally port? The word port is ultimately from Latin, portus for door. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but whatever. A Sally port is a small, easily secured door in a castle wall or other fortification. During a siege, defending raiding parties would set forth for a sortie for these ports and attack the. Okay, so it's a war term from like England or something. Okay.
Okay, and for the final clip.
Irony is not at all lost to me, though, that they're referring to the police department as the castle. They just want to point that out.
If we could go down to the timestamp and date.
Let's
A
see.
little bigger, Mr. Wolk, if you could. Can you see what that is designated as that camera angle?
Yes, it says first floor corridor, and the time is 1:28:03 a.m. on the 29th of January, 2022.
Okay. Is this the corridor version or video that you did have some recollection of?
Yes, this is, yes.
Okay, if we can go ahead and play this. Stop.
Yep.
Do you recognize the person in this video?
It appears to be Mr. Brian Higgins.
Okay, and what is he wearing? Describe it for the jurors.
Black sweatshirt with some sort of logo on the front. It appears to be blue jeans and shoes with a white trim.
And is the hood up?
Yeah, why is he walking through the police department with the hood up? I mean, I don't think he's dumb enough to think that, oh, I'm going to hide from the cameras here. I mean, he's got to know where the cameras are there, right? If he's trying to hide from, I mean, but still, why? Why is it up?
Up or down on the sweatshirt?
It's up.
Okay, let's go ahead and play this.
Why are those lights flashing?
May I have just a moment? Could you pause this as well? Okay, let's go ahead and play this. And is the hood up or down on the sweatshirt?
It's up.
Okay, let's go ahead and play this.
Okay, yeah, they were flashing before he opened the door. All right, I wonder why though.
You make note of the time as it's paused right here.
Do you want me to say it again or
Yes,
write
sir.
it down?
Yes, sir.
The time is 1:28:16 a.m.
Okay. And if we could just continue playing
Almost
this video.
128:17. $129.39.
It is playing.
So over a minute later.
Stop. Now, if you could take a look at the time now.
A minute and a half later.
Okay, what's that time?
29:42
Okay.
a.m.
And if we could go ahead and go forward.
What's he got in his hand?
Is it still playing, Mr. Wolk? Okay. If we could take a look at the time one more time.
Whoa.
Now it's, you say it?
Yes, sir.
1:34:12 a.m.
And in the time, just so the record's clear, in the time between you saying 1:28:16 to 1:34:12, 6 minutes has not gone by.
Just under 6, I believe, yeah.
Well, 6 minutes for us in real time.
Oh, in real time, yeah, no.
It is not. So it
Sorry.
appears that the camera jumped, or the jumped.
The time difference from what was displayed is approximately 6 minutes, yes.
Okay, which is much longer than the time we've actually been looking at the video, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so it appears that it may be motion activated and it just jumped.
That's a possibility, yes.
Okay,
yes.
let's go ahead and continue playing this. And stop. Do you see someone in the screen now?
Yes.
And one more time, I know this is laborious, one more time if we could clock the time. Can you see that?
No, it's really blurry for me.
There we go.
Yes, now I can see it 1:34:15, if I'm not mistaken, AM.
Okay, fair enough. And let's go ahead and play this all through. Who did that appear to be walking away from the camera in this shot?
I'm not certain. I would be suspecting or guess if I give an answer, but I'm not certain who that is.
Yeah.
As best you could determine.
I mean, it could be
does he
Higgins,
have the
but
same stature. I know you can't see his face. Same stature, same clothing, jeans,
But-
shoes.
I mean, it's same stature, yeah, but is it the same clothing? I mean, first of all, it looks like the hood maybe fell down off his head, but he still has something on his head, like a hat or something. I don't remember seeing a hat on him when he was walking toward the camera. And I don't think the back of the sweatshirt was ever shown. And that looks like a different logo than what was on the front, which would make sense. It could very easily make sense, but it's not. I don't know. It's not confirmed, I don't think, at least not as of yet with what I'm looking. I don't know.
White stripe around it, dark hooded sweatshirt. It should appear to be the same person as Brian Higgins.
It does appear that way, yes.
Okay. Is that it? Okay. There's one more clip that I'd ask you to look at on this same GG device. Okay. What do you see in this video?
Hardly anything.
Appears to be the church side sally port, and an individual came out of the door.
Okay. And can we highlight the time, please, or increase the size? What time is he there?
1:34:40 a.m.
Okay. If we go ahead and play this through. Pause. Does it appear from this video that the person has anything in his hand?
I'm sorry, can you play that again? I wasn't looking at the hand, but
Sure.
I really can't tell.
It does. I mean,
There should be another video of the rear lock side. Let's take a look at that. Pause. What do you see in that video?
It appears to be an individual wearing a black beanie hat, black dark color sweatshirt with some design on it, and something illuminating by his face.
Can we enhance the time, please? What time is that?
It says 1:34 and 53 seconds in the morning, a.m.
And if you move the screen over to the individual, Mr. Wolf, does that appear to be the same person?
It could possibly be, yeah.
And does it appear as
All
something?
right, now I think it was Brian Higgins in the hallway there.
Face or ear?
Yes.
I think that.
It's consistent with a cellular device, possibly a phone or a tablet.
Okay. If we can move on, please. Play that through.
How small is your tablet? Oh my God.
I believe there's one more video. And Your Honor, this one is a little longer. This is about 10 minutes.
Okay.
With the court's permission, I'd like to play this through. Okay, stop. Do you see a person in the video walking from screen right to screen left?
Yes.
Did that person appear to have something in his right hand?
I can't tell. I can't see his right hand.
Okay. When he first walked into the screen, could you tell?
I couldn't. No, I'm sorry.
Mr. Wolf, could we back that up with the court's permission about 2 seconds?
What the fuck is outside?
Stop. Did it appear to have something in his hand?
Oh.
It's a possibility, yes.
Okay. And just for, I'm going to ask you for 2 times when we start and when we stop. What's the time on this video at this point when he walks into frame?
1:35 and 8 seconds in the morning, a.m.
Okay. And let's go ahead and play this through.
I wonder, are we going to see him do his administrative work of moving a car around? I mean, he arrived in the Jeep. So, and it looked like he went back into the Jeep. Hi, Vivian. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, what's going on? Oh, no, nothing. Okay. So yes, we're watching the Karen Reed trial. Right now, it's the continued cross-examination of Trooper Buchanan by Alan Jackson. And right now, they're covering Brian Higgins having made a stop at the Canton Police Department after leaving Fairview Ave, and having been seen on his phone in this video, with, you know, which was news to those who obtained his phone records, I guess. And it seems like he was up to some, I don't know, some shady shit maybe while there. I'm hoping we find out. Right now, it's being confirmed yet again that it was, in fact, snowing that night in Canton, Massachusetts. Who knew? What is that thing right there? Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't know if you might have been talking to Meg. You might have been saying you missed Meg. I don't know. Which I wouldn't blame you. But I know I haven't been live in a while. The last time I tried to go live, I didn't feel good and I ended up getting sick that night. And I don't know. I've been working so fucking much. But I have today off. Yay. All right. So I haven't seen anything happen. Are we just going to sit here for like 10 minutes and just watch the snow fall? Okay, so
Pause it, please.
Oh.
Sergeant, at this point, do you see a person walking into the frame from the video from frame left to frame right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Is he brushing the snow off? No. What is he doing? So there's an alligator in there. Is he? Wait a minute. The driver's side Jeep door looks like it's open now. Unless maybe that's just the way the snow's falling. No, it was open. Now it's closed. Now there he is again, walking around the back of the Jeep to the other side there. But I don't see him again. Oh, he got in the vehicle next to the Jeep, and it looks like he's okay. I don't know. He turned the lights on. That's what he did.
Can you pause it?
So what
Did
the
you
fuck is he
see
doing?
something happen with the vehicle next to the Jeep in the last few seconds?
Yes.
What was that?
It appears as though the headlights are activated.
Okay, let's go.
No.
Pause it.
I
You
haven't
see a person that
followed the Lori Daybell case
walking
at all,
from
really.
screen right to screen left in the middle of the screen.
Yes, he just, or she just appears to have closed the door on that vehicle next to the plow.
Okay. And walking toward which vehicle?
The one on the furthest on the left.
Okay. From what you've seen, Sergeant, he or she, does that person appear to be consistent with the video that we've seen of, in other particulars, of Brian Higgins?
As far as I could tell from here, the individual accessed Brian Higgins' vehicle, so I'd be speculating with the conditions or near whiteout conditions. It's tough to tell.
But no reason to believe that it's anybody other than Brian Higgins accessing Brian Higgins' vehicle.
No.
Let's go ahead and play it.
One thing I've learned from my own security cameras that when you like my front camera, if I have the front portrait on, it looks like it's just a normal camera in color. But if I don't, and it has like the night vision like this, the black and white. And I've learned that black can sometimes appear to be white or gray. I don't understand it, but it's what happens. So I don't know. That's what. Upon watching this, I would have thought that no, I don't switch to different color, but I don't think it is. So. I feel like you could get better recordings.
And what do you see Brian
what
Higgins
happened?
or that person doing now?
Yeah,
They accessed the vehicle on the far left.
Okay.
Well, what did he do to it when he walked up to it the first time?
And where's that person going?
Now they're accessing the Jeep Wrangler.
There's somebody else in the Jeep. What the hell? What was that? I just want to point out that I've not seen him move a single fucking car. So I don't know what he's talking about moving cars around. That's why he stopped at the PD.
Can you pause it? Where does that individual appear to be now in the video?
The driver's door.
Last I could tell, they might be by the Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Before that person got to the Jeep Wrangler, was he standing by the vehicle on the far left?
Yeah.
SUV or truck?
Mm-hmm.
It appeared that way, but with the heavy whiteout snow that night, I can't tell exactly what they were doing.
Did it appear, did you see anything in his hand, like a bag?
Yeah,
satchel,
looked like a big
duffel
giant gym
or
bag.
something when that person walked from this vehicle over to the Jeep?
I did not notice, no.
How the fuck are you an investigator?
Now, has that person walked off screen to the left?
Yes, sir.
Now he looks like he has a copy.
Do you see that person entering screen from screen left?
Yes.
Seems like an awful lot of activity at a police department at like fucking 1:30 a.m. in the morning amongst vehicles. Like, I don't. That's weird. Oh, that's cool. You're trying to buy a little piece of land. That's awesome. Yeah, I hear you on working too much. Oh, and you did mean me. Yeah, I missed you guys too.
What did you just see the person do?
Oh, I missed it.
They were carrying possibly like a snow broom, walking from left to right.
It's weird if they're carrying it though and don't use it, right? What is? Oh, those must be the lights or whatever throughout the parking lot. Okay. See, again, I'm going to say it.
Now?
Did not move a single
The
fucking
Jeep
vehicle.
Wrangler's leaving the spot it was parked in.
What are these cars they talking about?
Okay, we can take that down. Oh, I'm sorry. I failed to ask you the time. I promised
Well,
I
I
would
still
do
have
it.
to
and I
think
do it
about
again.
it.
Can we look at the time real quick?
Yes, the time for the rear lot main side is 1:45:52.
And it appears that's the approximate time that the Jeep Wrangler drove off.
Approximately, yes.
Okay, thank you. In are you friends with Brian Higgins?
I am not.
Do you know Brian Higgins?
I know who he is, yes.
Have you ever socialized with Brian Higgins?
Like out on private time?
Go out, have a beer.
No.
See him at a bar. Hey, Brian, let's grab a beer. Nothing like that?
No.
How long have you known Mr. Higgins?
I'd be speculating. It's before this case. He was a law enforcement individual that worked in the area. So I've had cases where he assisted on and that I've assisted on.
Would you consider yourself to have a professional relationship with him?
I knew who he was, so yes, I would consider a professional relationship.
But you would not consider your relationship to have gone over to the personal relationship? You don't
Not at all.
socialize, do any
No.
private
No.
get-togethers?
No.
Okay. You would agree that this video pretty clearly shows, at least at one point, around 1:34 a.m., any personal knowledge as to the status of that phone?
Yep. All right. I'm going to have to
As we sit here today.
Fred.
The
Oh,
one
no,
that he
no,
takes
it's back.
directions from?
No, it's back.
Correct.
No idea. No.
I want to shift gears to another series of videos. Last year at another proceeding, you were asked about a couple of videos from the interior Sallyport garage at Canton PD. So now we're going to move to the interior.
I said it looks like it's not playing.
You remember those series of questions and answers that you gave?
All right.
You were asked at another proceeding to describe when the SUV, Reed's SUV, first arrived at the Sallyport garage around 5:30 or so, correct?
Based on my recollection of it first arriving or what we were viewing?
What you were viewing.
Objection to this.
Ask it differently, Mr. Johnson.
Do you remember being asked a series of questions concerning the arrival of the SUV, just in general?
I remember that it happened. I don't remember the exact questions, what my answers were.
And you remember seeing a video about which you were asked questions concerning the arrival of that SUV, pulling into the Sallyport, who was who, what the time frame was generally. Do you remember that colloquy, that discussion?
I remember it taking place, yes.
That was Mr. Lally asking you questions, correct?
I believe so.
Under questioning by the Commonwealth, you were asked whether the video that you were looking at fairly and accurately represented the SUV arriving at the Sallyport garage, correct?
Yes.
And you indicated, in fact, it did fairly and accurately depict the arrival of the SUV at the Sallyport garage. Is that right?
That's correct.
I'd like to ask you a question about that particular video.
Why choose comment? No, I can't. Okay.
John, hold your flash drive. May I approach?
Yes.
I'm gonna have just one more.
All right. Oh wait, is he going to be playing something again? Until he does, I'm going to exit. Yes. There.
Yeah, I'll consult with counsel.
Yep. Okay, this person says, none of these attorneys would be doing this for free if they didn't know she was innocent. None of the attorneys are doing it for free. So, I mean, I don't know.
Jurors, you know what? Let's take.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, another fucking break. Oh my God. Are they doing the lunch break? Is that what I heard?
Jurors, you know what? Let's take the luncheon break.
Thank you.
Jurors, you know what? Let's take the luncheon break.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. All right. So then, yeah, it's almost 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. Yeah, they're definitely going to be, they're going to be taking a lunch break, I think. So I'm not going to sit here for half an hour waiting for them. I will come back. Yeah, lunch break. Okay. I will come back and start another stream. Actually, I think, can I restart this one or something? I think that's an option you can do now. StreamYard. I'm not sure. I will see about that when I come back. If not, then I'll start a new one. But I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat. Y'all go eat. I don't know. See you back in a little while, probably. So, thanks for watching. I know it's been incredibly boring because they just dragging their feet to be in court and do the court. Oops, sorry, and do the court shit. Wait, where's she?
We have the voir dire right now to see what Sergeant Buchanan knew regarding that line of testimony you wanted to get into. So let's do that now, and then you can all work out the video issues.
Well, I didn't do that, did I?
May I inquire briefly?
Yes.
Thank you. Sergeant, we were talking before we were talking a little bit about the conversation that you had with Michael Proctor, either during or just before, after that first interview with Chris and Julie Albert. What I'd like to ask you is, what information did you have and what did you ultimately learn about their relationship? You said there were some accusations and we never really got to the heart of it. What did you know and what did you do investigate? Or what did you learn?
What I knew as we were walking up to the door is that he had knowledge of the individuals prior to us conducting the interview. I asked him if he knew them personally. My words, do you hang out with them? Do you socialize with them? He said, no, I do not. I said, are you comfortable doing this interview? And he said, yes. And me being a complete outsider and his supervisor and realizing if there was any impropriety that I would step in and recognize it, report it, and act on that. The interview was conducted without issue and we moved on.
As a matter of fact, one of the things in Trooper Proctor's report it said following it, the report started with following formal introductions. Did that suggest to you that Trooper Proctor had no knowledge of who Chris or Julie Albert were from a personal standpoint?
Not at all. I believe maybe I wrote the report, or was it him?
Yes, I think it is you. I think it is
Yeah.
you.
So
Yeah, Coach Ron,
Yes.
just so you have it.
thank you. Yeah. Since I authored the report, I wrote following formal introduction since I've never met them before.
Okay, so that was more attended to you than to Michael Proctor.
Correct.
Okay, but the report does say we introduced ourselves, basically. Following formal introductions.
Greeted, but I had formal introductions to them. I've never met them before in my life.
You said that subsequently you learned about, your word, accusations that had been made concerning possible relationship between Michael Proctor and the Alberts. What was that information that you learned?
When was it? I need that.
When did you learn it? I thought you said 2023, but I could be wrong. When did you learn that?
It was I believe, during the July motion proceedings when you guys had pictures up of children.
July of what year?
I believe 2023.
Okay. What did you learn in July of 2023 about the potential?
The accusations?
Yeah.
That those were Albert's or McCabe's kids in the photograph with Michael Proctor?
Okay. Did you ever learn about personal communications that Michael Proctor or his wife may have had with any of the Albert family, including Julie Albert?
Ever?
Ever?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me when you learned that and what you learned in that order.
Well, Michael Proctor had communicated with those individuals, Elizabeth Proctor, and communicated with those individuals due to the harassment that they've sustained.
Okay.
So with that crazy behavior that's been, imposed on them, and the
Oh my God.
commissioner's harassment that they've endured,
Oh my
the
God.
traumatic experiences they had to live through, they've communicated. So I've learned about that, yes. I was taking in all of that evidence, hundreds and pieces of evidence that I've archived in order to
Go ahead. In order to?
Yeah, and to what?
investigate it.
Okay.
Mm.
You're talking about Elizabeth Proctor well after the fact of the interview and the incident in 2022. That's what you were just describing.
Yeah.
It was after
In 2024.
Okay.
started, yes.
Which is well after January 29, 2022, right?
January 20, yes, it is.
Okay. I'm asking about information related to a relationship prior to January 29, 2022. Did you ever learn about a pre-existing relationship that may have existed between the Proctor family and the
I don't know
Albert
what that
family
means.
before?
So in the chat here on the side, D says Higgins is back on the Cambridge FD eligible list. Perhaps a planned exit from federal law enforcement. Does that mean fire department?
29,
Is that what they're saying?
and maybe a couple of days after.
All I know is that there was a relationship explanation provided by Mr. Lally during one of the motions, and it was like 6 days separated by individuals residing in the community, living in the community, raising the kids in the community, working in the community. So community members having relationship within that. I don't know the extent of those relationships.
Okay. Did you, during that hearing where you said there were pictures of the kids and et cetera, that July 2023 hearing, did you see a Facebook post during the course of that hearing wherein the Albert family called the Proctor family their second family? Vice versa, where the Proctor family, Michael Proctor's mother, they've called the Alberts their second family. You remember that Facebook post?
I don't remember seeing that post. I just remember there were like a picture of kids that weren't Michael Proctor's kids.
Okay, but you were in court that day.
I was in court in July. I believe it was 23rd of July for
Okay.
the motion. Yeah.
Putting aside the photographs that you've talked about, did you see the post, the Facebook post about those two families, specifically Proctor's mom, saying that the Alberts were their, quote, second family?
I don't remember seeing that post.
That didn't strike you, or that didn't.
How
that
is
was
this
not
dude
in
any kind of
your
investigator?
brain, in your head.
I don't think I've ever seen a post like that. So I just remember seeing the post. I
What
believe
about
it was Miss Little that was holding up the poster.
what about the text messages, or what about any text messages between?
So let me get this shit straight. He found out during the 2024 trial last year that Proctor lied to him about his close relationships with the McAlberts. And he's not pissed off about this. I mean, because Proctor's lie would have effectively jeopardized Buchanan's career and job and livelihood or whatever. Like, how do you not get mad about that? And then when you do find out about it, well, no, never mind. The investigation was over. He didn't find out about it till last year, so never mind. That train of thought, never mind. Still, how do you then, not being mad about it, get up on the stand and basically just double down for your boy there? Like, how the fuck? How do you rationalize? How do you make peace with that? How do you reason that? How do you not look at yourself and think, fucking sip and F, we're here for Proctor?
Michael Proctor and his sister concerning Julie Albert, very specifically concerning Julie Albert. Are you aware of those?
No.
Have you seen a text message between Julie Albert, between Courtney Proctor and, Courtney Proctor and Michael Proctor, where the sister says, Julie wants to give you a gift because you're doing such a great job leading this, meaning this investigation? Are you aware of that?
No.
Are you aware of a text message in which Michael Proctor responds, get it for my wife? Meaning, if you're going to give us a gift, get the gift for my wife.
No idea.
Okay. Are you aware of a series of text messages between and among Michael Proctor and Elizabeth Proctor in which they talk about, between Michael Proctor and Courtney Proctor, in which they talk about Julie Albert? This is 10 days before the incident, 10 days before January 29th, so mid-January, where they talk about the possibility of Julie Albert babysitting for Michael Proctor and Elizabeth Proctor's kids.
I am not aware of those text messages. These text messages?
You're still not aware of them? Come on,
Never heard of any of those.
No.
Okay. Did you ever talk to or investigate the circumstance of the possibility, even the remote possibility, that Michael Proctor may have had a relationship with the Alberts that you were unaware of?
No, I never investigated anything like that.
So after your initial conversation with the Proctor, where he said, I know of these people, and you said, is there any issue with you going forward? And he said, no, there's no issue.
See, right there, just the implication, the appearance, possibly, or the allegations that there is this close relationship between the lead investigator investigating the death of the dude found on the guy's lawn that he's really super close with, and along with the whole family. Just the optics of that alone should have been enough to just get him off the investigation. That was this dude's responsibility as his supervisor. I mean, this is fucking crazy.
You took no further steps after that to investigate that relationship. And I'm talking about the relationship that existed on or around January 29th, 2022.
I'll be right back. I have to go look for something for someone. I'll be right back.
Once Michael Proctor stated that he was comfortable conducting the interview, and I asked him if he was sure, and he said yes. We moved on.
Yeah, just a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Last couple of questions. Were you in court? I know you're indicating that you've never heard about these text messages. Were you in court in February of 2024 following the federal investigation revelation, the documents that we got from the both sides got from the federal investigation, which revealed and was revealed in open court the text messages about gift giving between Courtney Proctor and Michael Proctor? Hey, Judy wants to get you a gift, and Michael Proctor's response was, "Get it for Elizabeth, get it for my wife." Were you in court when those were revealed?
The harassment, intimidation that I experienced on the 23rd, being followed into the bathroom, then being followed outside, I stopped coming to court proceedings due to that. So I was not in court in February of 2024 and describing the information that you're revealing. I was not aware of that
Did you
detail.
review that all of these proceedings are televised? Sorry, you know that, right?
I'm not aware that it's televised, no.
You're not aware?
I know it streams, but I'm not aware that it's televised.
Okay, stream. Whatever you want to call it. Streamed on the internet. You can find it.
You can, yes.
They're recorded.
Right.
Did you ever review the hearing in February 2024 talking about what's been referred to as the Fed dump and the revelations that were made pursuant to that federal investigation and the text messages attendant there too?
I am aware of a Fed dump. I'm aware that it exists. I was not privileged to any information outside of the information that was revealed to me during the internal affairs investigation.
Right.
That was the first time I saw documents from that federal investigation.
By the way, were you privy to, Michael, there were three individuals involved in the investigation, yourself, Lieutenant Tully, and Michael Proctor, is that right?
In what
The
investigation?
internal affairs investigation.
I'm aware that there were as well. I don't know who else might have been involved. I don't know.
But in terms of your awareness of Michael Proctor's investigation, you're aware, obviously, that he was terminated, correct?
I am aware that he's terminated, yes.
Did you ever see or were privy to any of the document investigative materials associated with his termination as his supervisor?
No.
So nothing was ever shared with you, the final
Other
decision?
than the documents that he was attached in the text message that I was shown from that investigation, nobody showed me anything of his investigation.
Okay, let's wrap up.
Okay, that was basically all.
Okay, all right. Do you want to be heard, Mr. Jackson?
No.
Okay,
On that.
yeah, I'm not letting any of this in.
I think it's all invisible, but I understand the court's ruling was if he doesn't have personal knowledge of it and didn't have it then you're not going to let it in. It's over our objection, but that's noted.
Okay, so you got your voir dire, and I'm glad we fleshed it all out. So. All right, when's the jury coming back, Paul?
It was 20 off.
All right.
What did he
Back
say?
here at 25. Ready to go.
All rise to the court, please.
20 off.
All right, when's the jury coming back, Paul?
It was 20 off.
All right, be back here at 25. Ready to go.
I don't know what that means.
All rise to
I
the
know,
court, please.
25 after maybe? I don't know. All right, so I'm taking a break now. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm going to go look for my son's wallet again, a little more thoroughly because I can't find it, it seems. So I'm going to try and come back because I want to finish streaming this today, but it's my day off. Shit happens. Shit comes up. I make no promises, but if I do, I'm going to try to come back on the same stream. So if not, then I'll just post another stream link, whatever. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. I hope this was fun. All right. I'll see you guys later. And bye.